Yo, yo. So I'm also live on the Daniel Methsburg channel. I'm waiting for that notification to go out. Got Dub, got Alert, got a lot of people, got NTF. Yeah, so I'm kind of just gonna say we're just gonna be bringing a lot of those kind of lives, on the Daniel Messberg channel. I'm gonna be going live, kind of about you know non-catcher related stuff. You pass the test. Yeah, actually, come to think about it, I do need to probably unban a bunch of people on the Daniel Messberg one. That's probably true. Yeah, let's link it. Hold up. Let me find it. All right, let's find it. Oh, I found it. All right, that's the Daniel Messberg channel. Uh, right there. I'll pin that for a while. I'll kind of just be talking. Hold on. I'm gonna pin the link though. Hold up. Nick Cook, unfortunately, you did not pass the test. No, you did. This is Becky Clown, Onion Shifty, and Savvy in the back. Chat, Jerk and Jerry Fogel for Jeff's G's Pizza Party. Oh shit. That's like a Meth Clause comment. But yeah, we're just taking a lot of we're just moving things around a little bit. All right. We're just gonna bring a lot of that stuff over there, you know. We'll still be going live here, but it'll actually probably be better because I can go live I think 3 times on this channel, then 3 other times on that channel. Jeff is drunk as usual. Yeah. I'm here for peace, love, and anti-Antifa talk. Anti-Antifa talk? I think that would mean what was that, pro-fascist? Nah, I don't know. CP West Virginia last videos about some dog. Well, they're a weird group of people. Brian is saying, "I'm not surprised" is different to an accusation made. Yeah, you know what it is. TBL T1. Yeah, I'm wrecked right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's very scary. Yeah, yeah. I think if you add it all up, as far as all the catches have been on and everything, it's that number's like easily over 100. Most of them are lives, and I've never had an editor. I always do everything on my own. But yeah, but I will say though, um, yeah, we're definitely gonna get catches out. Didn't specify what registry they should be on. He might have meant the crackhead registry or the no teeth registry. Yeah, there's all kinds of registries. Yeah, we good. Yeah, definitely. I'm scared because gay, and that's what people are scared of gay people do. Accused of being maps. Bro, you're not typing clearly. What are you saying? What are you saying? Hey, what's up, FCC? Oh, I'm just saying I charge. Like, if you want me to like go up on a panel, like my clothes not free. My clothes not free. Like y'all have the freedom of speech, but as far as like an appearance, I don't know. Yeah, thinking the last live I did last night. The main thing I just was kinda going off about was well, like I think it was like also Becky was saying it too, because she said the family was well like a residual victim, and then I asked if that was including Shifty, and she didn't deny it. Yeah, you can send me anything. So if that's not like pedophile sympathizing, I can't tell what is. Poem to Tommy. Did he really say that? Wow. So yeah, we're gonna kind of be transitioning to the Daniel Methsburg channel. Um, that's gonna be where we speak on community issues. It's been a while back. He said that. Yeah, it's not really the documents. I mean, that dude is you can just tell. You can just tell. Like, will you trust clown around your kids? I don't know. Not saying that, but you probably would babysit for free. This is the last comment I'm seeing. Hell no, clown is dangerous as Jeff around kids. I think Jeff probably just kind of more of issue with Jeff is just kind of like he probably just burned the house down. You know, that's why his dad takes care of him. Yo, actually, I did see something crazy though. I did see something crazy. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I actually saw on I think it was on Nunez that I'm jealous of Jeff. Like what I really want to do, like my life, right, is unfulfilled, right? So I really want to I really want to live the Jeff life. Like that's actually what I want to do. Like what I want to do is like sleep in a race car bed, don't worry about bills. Mom, pop take care of me. Mom makes a lasagna, whatever it is. Get wrecked on a panel, no consequences other than your health. You know, I want to live the Jeff life. It's not even a, it's not even a like welfare or anything. It's like unconditional, right? Jeff cooked TV dinners for him, and the old man, while his mom went to work to bring home the bacon. Yeah, my thing is, I heard, Jeff's father has like he like shoots guns. If I heard that correctly, if he shoots guns, how is he elderly to a position that he needs to be taken care of? That's interesting. 'Cause I don't know how New Mexico laws work, but I feel like you shouldn't be seen out while shooting a gun. I don't know. That don't sound right. But yeah, he's been living with mom and pop since my age, basically. Set everything fully non-redacted. Yeah, I'm on my phone, so I'm not really I'm not really checking it. Well, actually, check my other phone. Well, actually, I don't think I have Instagram on that phone. Nah, bro. I want to live the Jeff life. Like that's that's missing out. No worries, no rush. Yeah, we could probably get into it. I probably could just go to my computer later in the live, however we figure it out. So yeah, I mean, I kind of just skimmed through whatever's going on now. I've been seeing a lot of stuff. I'm trying. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of just like it's kind of a lot to keep up with. Like I heard like money laundering through the MVCap channel to fuel my meth empire, something like that. I've been hearing. I don't even know. I released 10 out of 31 screenshots of Shifty and Glammy. I'm managing mod for Savvy. I banned you tech. You've had the rules. It's not personal. Rules just the rules. Right? Yeah, I'm trying to kind of think of all the stuff. I think there's probably like one thing. This is kind of my principle. All right, like you might disagree with it or not. I'll actually shut off my car computer or whatever. It's kind of loud. But this is my thinking. All right, some might disagree, some might not. But if I find that someone is like inherently despicable of a person, right? They could be a pedophile, they could be like done a lot of harm in the life, whatever it is. I believe in using intentionally offensive language towards them. And if I do, it isn't a blanket statement towards, anyone else that might be in that situation. Case in point, like let's say, I don't know, there's like a pedophile midget, or there's like a pedophile in a wheelchair. I don't know. Or there's a pedophile that happens to be gay. I'm gonna call that pedophile a faggot. Why not? But that's not because it's offending, you know, like old people that are gay. Someone's living like a productive gay life or whatever. That person's not a faggot. But if someone's like a piece of shit or like a pedophile or something, and they just happen to be gay, I'm calling them a faggot. But why not? That makes sense. For real. So There was kind of one thing that was said, which it wouldn't be something I would use, but it did say that a certain person, you know, couldn't speak because of you know, certain abuse. But that same person essentially said that they aren't gonna get off their ass at all or care, have any concern about someone possibly harming their own daughter in the worst way. And I would extend that blanket of being despicable to that entire pack. That's my thinking. But if there's like a decent person, it could be like they couldn't talk, it could be whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna go there. Like imagine if you know, there was like a pedophile that didn't talk. I'm gonna go there then. In this case, it's about being a sympathizer. That's my thinking. Some people could say, some people could disagree. That's my position. If I find someone despicable, inherently despicable, I'm going to use intentionally offensive language towards them. I probably have more convictions than CPP. I know that, and that's a whole team. I don't think I've caught the wrong guy though. When was the last time I caught the wrong guy? Piece of shitia, and then standing by it. God damn. Find a catch where I caught the wrong guy. How about that? Yeah, and also, I mean, if you really kind of plan it out, I don't think I ever was really a full time catcher, but even not including, having decoy groups working for me, I know I have more convictions than Tommy, and I'm one dude. Like, as of now, I'm my own decoy, my own catcher, my own editor, everything. And I'm going to use AI, I have a good system in place. I think I have a really good system in place. I think things are going to go very well. I'm very optimistic. I'm glad I like where things are going. I'm glad where things are going. I'm confident in it. I built a really good foundation over the years, and as of now, the only person I need, as far as like the operational aspect of it, and purely the operational aspect of it, uh, is just me. But as I always do say, and it is absolutely true, is we're all MVCat. We're all part of the movement. People are like, people even watching the catch, people are even there. In my eyes, they are part of me exposing the predator. That's that's my belief. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm my own everything. For real. Like, if I'm doing a catch or whatever I'm doing, I don't consult a decoy team or whatever. I don't review chat logs because I know the chat logs. I'm doing the chat logs. I go to court. I think certain people like miss court, because of some unknown reason. I live for court. Have you been on your local news station for a fake charity yet? Nah. I mean, that's kind of another dumb thing is like, I don't think he was intentionally defrauding people or whatever. I just think, here's actually what I think. All right. This is nuance. This is very nuanced. I think Tommy has a lot of shitty people that help CPP run, and he's kind of just like the head of it. And, not thinking anything through, he's going to say that, you know, a certain nonprofit is a 501c3, which, you could write off on your taxes, which it wasn't. Because you're not even making your own decisions. You're not even doing any of the thinking. Like all these other people, and they'll probably like have like, I don't know. I would say I have about 100 catches. But, the people that have teams, they have like maybe hundreds of catches, whatever it is, allegedly, I guess. They're the ones doing all the work. You ever see the Vice interview? You ever see the Vice interview? There was one big difference between Tommy and all the other ones. He doesn't pay them. Now, my thinking is this, you know, if someone ever did, I mean, I do everything, but if someone ever did, like help on a catch in like a very consistent way, kind of in that way, um, definitely at this point, which I'm not really looking for right now, because as far as I can see, I want to go solo for a while. Um, I would pay them. You might as well pay them. But then not only that, it said they were they've given money, like thousands of dollars, beyond not even being paid. As if it's like and it was, I think it was even showing like a decoy training thing. And it was showing you gotta sound like a teacher. Sorry, you gotta sound like a teenager or whatever. It just sounds like I don't even know. Looked like a cult. It looked like it was in a church or something. I don't know. I don't know if you saw the Vice interview, but you should definitely watch the Vice interview. But there's a lot of difference between any of the other teams that actually have kind of figured out a system, where they can kind of grow and expand the right way, and they're not just kind of being, you know, the monkey that does the catches where everyone else does the work. If I started a cult and I could just get a bunch of people to do the work in that kind of weird way, I never considered being a cult leader before or nothing. But I could probably run around doing all kinds of catches like that too. You know? But yeah. The FCC won't let me be. Goes to see the link. Yeah, I can put out the link. I'll put out the link. I'm not gonna pin the link right away. People do want the link for some reason. But no Neanderthals though. If you're a product of your brother and sister, you're not welcome. You got bigger problems to figure out. I can't help with them. No Neanderthal shit. If the doxing his own grandkids for sympathy, I don't know about that. But the reality is, bro has never really reproduced. I think we already know that. I remember he said his own decoy. It was talking about Jeff, but Jeff said his own decoy was hot. Nasty fuck. I mean, I'm trying to think of everything on my own as far as this goes. I'm really trying to think of actually like all the things. There's been like so many things that have been said that I'm trying to like list it off in my brain. So I don't know if people could actually like if they're like I don't know if there is a couple things like if they could just list it in chat so it can refresh my memory. Um, but yeah, it's kind of wild explaining how taxes work. Maybe I could start I could start doing the teaching thing. You know, but Jeff heard you death threatening his father with a gun, Ryan. Just dad needs to be taken care of with the gun. Yeah, but he's not supposed to shoot it. He's not supposed to be able to shoot. All right. He's not supposed to be able to shoot a gun if he's not willing to take care of himself. Those don't mix. Those don't mix. Like I mean, that does happen. Where you get old to a certain point where you can't take care of yourself. But I don't even own a gun. I don't even like the idea of owning a gun. I don't think I even trust me with a gun. Like I've been thinking about having like mace for a catch, stuff like that. But I just don't like the idea of having a gun. But I think if you're going to have a gun, you need to be able to be taking care of yourself. So obviously it's proof. Like I think what's actually true is he probably can take care of himself, and it just kind of furthers the point that like I think he admitted to that too. But it's just kind of the slip up. The point is Jeff's 50 years old, and he can deny this if he wants. And he was never in law enforcement ever. He's never made anything out of himself, and his clock's running out. Not necessarily by his age, necessarily, more so by his mentality. But his parents take care of him. Yo, yo,
Yo,
my twin voice.
um, I was coming up to talk about like how you were just talking about like owning a gun. And did you hear about the guy in like he was a senior citizen in New York City and he shot a guy and he was totally let off and then they raided his house and then arrested him and sentenced him to 4 years in jail for the guns he had in his house and not for his actions on the guy?
Whoa, I don't know. Hold on. I don't know if it's my settings or whatever. Okay, I have this volume booster. Yours
Oh
like
no,
very
no,
loud.
it's probably because I'm driving. I'll be home here in a second if you would rather just let me back up in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, I'll be back in like 2 minutes, okay?
Okay. Yeah, no,
All
I
right.
just can't tell if it's. Actually can't tell if it's my phone though. Hold on, because I do have a volume booster and it makes everything weird. Hold on, I'll just check it. Hold on, I'll be right back. Volume. Oh no, it's not. Okay, yeah, it just kind of like when it kind of sounds like that, it kind of sounds like the volume booster was on. Yeah, they're actually saying it was afraid of music or whatever. Actually, that's what I use it for, like for the car. Doesn't work well with Screamer though. What's going on? What I miss? It is an old hando, 400 parts just for the shade alone. Um, yeah, I actually agree with that. I actually agree with that. I don't think they're a bad team at all. I think they're probably just doing what they need to get started or whatever. I think they do actually care. They seem to be like actually trying to change, laws, and I think they're yeah. I actually think they do solid work. So I'm not necessarily including them in the conversation. Yeah, I think I heard that all the Jeff Labs, which is basically like in addition to his weekly allowance that his parents give him, um, that are put behind a paywall for membership. I don't know. I heard someone's posting them for free on his channel. I think it's this one, Vic. So you don't have to pay to see it. Yeah, so all those unhinged Jeff Labs. So basically, like he gets kind of like a little bit of a bump off of his his allowance. Um, you don't actually have to be a member. You can just watch Vic. I heard. I heard. What the fuck? Hey, Tech. Yeah, we'll say
Yeah.
what my volume booster's off, so we're good.
Oh no, was also driving. But no, what I was asking you was, did you hear about the guy that I think it was New York City, and he hurt somebody and was let off? I was just talking about it, but I'd have to go back to find out what I was just talking about.
Are you talking about a catcher?
No, 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 absolutely not a catch.
I mean,
So
I don't. Doesn't sound familiar.
it was in New York City, and I think the guy was arrested like 71 times, and he harmed another person after he was let out of jail again.
That happens a lot, though, right? That's not surprising.
Well, I mean, I would say anything over like 10 is an incredible amount, right?
I I wish it was. It should be.
But what I was going to ask you, because
Yeah.
last night you were talking a little bit crazy and I didn't agree with you, but I sent you all of the shifted DMs and there's nothing redacted. I released 10 of 31 screenshots of page one,
Okay.
but
I'll be next to the moment.
no need to rush to them. They're all there for you and it's everything that I have. I've done no redacting. And if you want to release them all in full, go ahead, but I'll do it if you don't. But we're like, this isn't any agreed upon bet. But no, I think that last night these people were kind of going after you, and I don't understand why. Like, I didn't agree with everything that you were saying, to be honest with you, but I don't think that you were completely wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. We could kind of clarify whatever I said. We could talk about that too. Or
But yeah,
what?
that's not between you and me. Literally,
Yeah.
that has no concern between you and me. But I don't agree with what you said last night, but that doesn't mean that I'm right or you're wrong or vice versa.
Okay.
But why are they trying to keep coming at you, Ryan? That's my bigger question. Because to me, you are their biggest concern and you're their biggest target because you're the person who can talk about them the most and that knows about them the most.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of thinking I think the savvy. I mean, I will admit, like, it did have a lot of people in there. I mean, it's kind of weird seeing comments like they don't take me seriously, whatever. They don't take I don't take Ryan seriously at all. But it's like
But they took you seriously
106,
like a year ago, right?
but like 116 people for like hours and hours of paneling. I don't know. That sounds pretty serious.
Well, Ryan, let's say
It's kind
116
of, yeah,
people. They were
yeah.
like, we're taking you serious right now because this is what our person is telling us to believe. And then right whenever you leave us, we don't believe this anymore. And that's exactly what they did with me. Not like exactly because I never joined, but I was invited and I said, no, I think I'll respectfully decline. And then she went after me just like she's doing you. And it's the exact same game plan. And it's not me, it's not you, it's everybody who opposes her, and she does the exact same attack. There is no differentiation of the attack.
Well, the way I kind of think about it is it's kind of more of like a being mad they got caught kind of thing. Because
Absolutely, you're right. Yeah. No,
I
you're
mean,
nailing it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, at first, you know, I was kind of just it was really just kind of getting crazy in Slack. I was being tied to too many things that I wasn't necessarily actively involved in. Even though it was probably like in the same server, but I kind of left on neutral grounds. You
Yeah.
know,
I hear what
um,
you're saying. So, like, Ryan, if I were to have gone in whenever none of you invited me, and this was, like almost maybe more than a year ago, almost a year ago, who knows? But it was the same situation. And then, she was going to be the protector of me. And then whenever I didn't agree, she started to attack and then said, did you not? Did you say this? And then I asked her for the proof. And it's just not there.
So yeah. I was answering a question. So yeah, but then beyond that, like we're kind of on neutral terms, and I don't think leaving a Slack is a big deal. Like it's just a Slack. I mean, I read a couple
Bro,
panels
why
about.
would anybody be mad at
Well,
you
I
for
mean,
leaving a
I just
server
gotta,
that?
I mean, all due respect, I just kind of want to finish a thought, honestly, though.
My bad.
But yeah, like, yeah, kind of like sorry, where like, I don't really think leaving a Slack is a big deal. Like there was too much stuff being tied to it. So yeah, but then to kind of emphasize it's not like personal or whatever. Like I did want to reach out to them, let them know it's whatever it is, there's no like issue or whatever. But then it just kind of got to a point where I was realizing that they were doing a lot of bad stuff, a lot of
Ryan,
wrong stuff.
you're very right, and I have shared a short, and I think it would make sense to you, but it makes no sense to for you to play it on this, and I can send it to you, and you can maybe watch it in another form. But no, you're speaking the exact truth because when you don't agree with them, that's right when they attack you and then try to outcast you and make you seem like you're the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, yeah, I mean, they've been saying a lot of stuff. I mean, they're saying like things like, um, not tax evasion, but they were actually going further. They were saying like something like, what is it called when you turn dirty? Money laundering.
Yeah,
Money
that
laundering.
that
Yeah,
was
I don't know.
I sent you
Something
those
about.
screenshots, and I just sent you the entire drive of all of those screenshots tonight. But yeah, no, that's exactly right up the alley of what they were saying. And who knew how to tell them how to say that?
Oh, I mean, okay. So the screenshots. What are they? Wait, what about the screenshots?
Well, I just uploaded 10 of 31 screenshots of Shifty and Glammy's DMs of page one. And then I
Oh,
think on page two was where they were accusing you of money laundering, and he was accusing you of him telling you autistic
yeah.
that you weren't accepting it, but like you have all of that entire file.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I did kind of see. I did kind of see that a little bit. Um, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's kind of been a lot of stuff. Um, but yeah, no. I mean, I guess I would just say. I don't know if it's exactly like that. I'm not really gonna say it's just like I left and there's a problem for that. I kind of more saying that I kind of realized, especially like with the GoFundMe, whatever, that the issue was I was unknowingly involved in a lot of harm that's been done to good people.
That would potentially be a money laundering scheme, but like you're not involved in it. But I
Oh
also
yeah,
don't believe that's a
nah.
money laundering
I'm
scheme
talking.
by any form.
Oh, I mean, I'm talking about. I mean, yeah, I don't know if the word is like money laundering or whatever. I just think
No,
that's
no,
probably
the
false
money laundering
clarity or
would be
whatever.
something that you probably know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm not really saying that's the money laundering. I mean, I kind of think the money laundering is just like kind of a made up thing. I'm more saying that the like especially like the GoFundMe and
Here, here,
her
Ryan,
saying that she was
can
talking
I
about
cut you off real
cancer.
quick? How long have you
Yeah.
been on YouTube? How long have you been monetized for? Since which year?
Oh, I mean, I think if I had to guess, probably like 2021,
And
2022.
you've never had any issues with YouTube and then money and taxes and whatever? Not once?
No, not once.
Okay, so then what's their point?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's really no point. I mean, the only thing that's probably true is, like, especially like with the big channel was like a lot of money flowing in or whatever. I mean, it's not like necessarily a bad thing, right? But I mean, it is like as far as like I don't know if you've ever like done taxes in a way that I've done it, but it is something it is kind of a stressful process. You got a lot of things to think about, a lot of
Yeah,
paperwork, accounts
at the
stress me out.
at the 1099.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
But like as long as you are good at budgeting your money and then knowing like what your expected tax situation and bracket should be, then you shouldn't be surprised. And I don't think that you have ever been.
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as that, yeah, I think as far as that goes, that was more like yeah, as far as like the tax situation, which I mean, I don't think I should go into too much detail or whatever.
No, you should. You should absolutely never discuss your finances with
But
anybody on a public channel on the internet ever. So don't.
yeah. Um. But yeah, I will just say there's kind of a lot of moving parts to it in general.
But yeah, you've been on YouTube for so long, and all of your finances have been handled, and you've never been in the hole.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then we
yeah,
should
they
just
kind of
leave it. We should just leave it at that because you know what you're doing, right?
yeah,
And then
it's kind of
some other people don't know what they're doing, and then they're asking questions when they're being questioned.
uh oh, I just
So,
saw
like,
someone backstage say something about
so,
SWAT Ryan.
that's so disgusting. But no,
Oh
like, for
man,
instance, the other day, whenever Tommy Boy was talking to Jeff, and Jeff was like, wait, we don't pay any taxes on these YouTube income revenues?
he's
That's,
trying to figure out. He's trying to figure out who's the money launderer, me or Alex. I don't know. That
I,
was
I,
wild.
I don't know how that works, but I'm pretty sure that the time that you sign up to be a YouTube content creator, they do inform you that you are a 1099. And then you are responsible for paying all of your own taxes from any incomes that you earn from the
Yeah,
platform.
yeah. In short, how it works is you separate your income. You don't just add on all the income as if that's your income.
No, Ryan,
Yeah,
stop. You're
right.
going too deep. No, you're going too deep.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you don't need to talk about this. But
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
more the
Fair enough.
point of what I was saying about Jeff and how he doesn't know that YouTube doesn't even tax you on revenue.
Wait, YouTube doesn't tax you on. Oh, you're talking about like take it out beforehand.
You know,
No,
yeah, they
they
take
don't
their
take it out beforehand. No.
30% and then they pay you, but then you're also a 1099 contractor, and then you have to also subtract those income taxes from whatever you're earning. And then
Yeah,
you should
you gotta do the
probably take about, I would say, 17% from whatever your income earnings are just to cover you. And then if you want to be more safe, 23% would be a better number.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean everything. Yeah, everything with that is I would just okay. I'll just say like one super generic thing, but I would just say the reason why everything actually went very well was because you know um both Alex and I are we're
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
We looked up to.
well,
I'm finishing
I
though.
hear what you're
Um,
saying, but you're kind
wait,
of talking too much about tax situations, dude.
yeah. Well, I mean, you really hear what I was gonna say. I didn't even get to finish my sentence there. But um, but but I'm saying the reason why everything went uh very well is because it was uh it was done in a very good and honest way. I'll just leave it there.
I agree with you completely. Because, I mean, you can only set up an AdSense an account for one person per whatever channels you have. But that doesn't absolve you from taxes or anything.
Nothing really absolves you from taxes. No, unless
No,
you're
nothing. There is absolutely nothing that absolves you from taxes. But
yeah.
even if you were to like change and split revenue, that's nobody's concern. Nobody needs to know that. Who cares?
But I might have a better idea though.
Okay.
Like, hear me out. But all right. So, what if you laundered a meth empire in a church? You don't even pay taxes.
Well, yeah, most religious organizations are tax exempt. You're right.
So we could start a meth church, and
I think that would be
that would make
probably
bank.
federally illegal, to be honest with you.
Well, I think the most important thing is it won't. We need to make it not look illegal.
Well, then you'd probably be into what they're saying, that how you're money laundering. Because maybe it's not legal, but you also can't just. Well, maybe, honestly, I don't know. You just asked me a very implicating question. Maybe you can start a religious organization, and then you can start giving drugs to your members. Who knows? Maybe that's totally illegal.
Yeah,
But
you know in the church when they collect the money and all that or
yeah,
whatever.
the
Like it'll just be
congregation
meth.
and the congregation, and then like the silver plate or whatever.
Yeah, pass around a little bit of meth, a little weed, have a good time. I think it'd be
Well,
good.
how how do they disperse this among their community?
Well,
Like, is it just like
it would be a
everybody gets
community
hit?
effort. Yeah, it would be a community effort.
Well, we've seen how community efforts have been around here for so far, and maybe people are shipping
You know when
people
like
meth
you know,
over the USPS or whatever, but no, it's getting kind of crazy over here, to be honest with you.
you ever see Breaking Bad?
No, I'm gonna be
You-
completely honest with you. I think I've seen 3 episodes in total.
Oh, well,
I've also never seen The Walking Dead. Just was never
I haven't seen The
a
Walking
peak
Dead.
of my
I don't know.
interest.
Breaking Bad is probably the only show I know, but you should watch Breaking Bad. That's your homework assignment. But in Breaking Bad, they have like a whole lab. Gus Fring, um, he laundered money through like a chicken joint, like a chicken business or whatever. And shit, what was my point?
Well, and I'm gonna, I guess, bring it back to you. So, Ryan, how are people accusing you of laundering money? Because I really don't believe that you are. Are you trying to obtain funds on one app to send them to another app to then try to not pay taxes on your income?
Oh no, the point of the money laundering is to pay the taxes.
But
It's that extra revenue. That's what it is. Turn the
but
dirty
there's
money into
a
the
lot
clean.
of people that aren't paying any money on those extra taxes and income and revenue. And they're probably going to be surprised sometime within 2026.
Wait, what's that?
So, Ryan, we'll just say, you're the super grifter, right? And then you
Yeah,
want to obtain $26,000 between somehow on whatever platform you can. You're going to have to pay income taxes on that because you're going to exceed a threshold.
yeah.
And you know how you have to pay income taxes, but I don't think these other people know that they have to pay income taxes on in-gained revenue.
Oh wait, you're talking about just YouTube?
Yeah, it could. Yeah, it's just YouTube. It could be whatever other platform, but yeah, YouTube primarily. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was thinking about more than platforms. I was talking about the other business.
Well, Brian, if you made $26,000 on YouTube this year, and your channel was to just not even be original, and then you made that much money, and then you withheld that from the government. If you rent, then you don't pay property taxes. That's fair enough. Those are expendable taxes. But
Yeah, I don't like buying. Yeah, I like renting.
but I don't think that you have expendable taxes. Like, I don't think that you're overextending your state or overexpending your resources. I think that these are these other people doing it. And that's
Like who?
probably why Nunya has been evicted, 4 times in 5 years?
I thought it was 3. Is it really 4?
It could be 3, could be 4. I don't have the exact number. I really cannot tell you. But you have to get really far upon your delinquency before you get taken out.
Yo.
Hello, Beck.
Hi. I'm just only gonna be up for a few minutes. I only came up for, I guess, an artistic benefit. I'm gonna be muted, but yeah, I just thought I'd come up for
Yeah,
artistic
go right
purposes.
out for the artistic benefit that you just talked to me about the other night, Beck. Go right ahead. It's okay.
All right. I mean, it's close, but it doesn't count as a porn bomb, so we'll let it live.
No, I'm not offended. I'm not triggered. It's totally cool. I'm really not upset.
In Minecraft, only in Minecraft. All right. As long as it happens in Minecraft, it works.
Wait, am I only allowed to be upset in Minecraft? I can't be upset in real life.
Oh no, not the being upset. I'm saying like the whole strap-on situation or whatever. It just has to happen in Minecraft. We're just not really on
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah, okay. Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, gotcha.
Which is disturbing as hell because that's like a video game and all that. But yeah, in Minecraft.
Yeah, no big deal. Well, I
Yeah.
think Beck came up here because he wanted to ask a question at least.
Oh, I
Or he
mean,
just came up here to be muted, which is a lot more weird.
he has a floor if he wants to let someone
I just
get the question.
I just introduced him when he came up and said, "Hey, Beck." So
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
actually,
actually in the
well,
middle of something, so I'm really just here for artistic purposes, not much else.
you
But
just came up
yeah,
in the middle of something to do what?
artistic purposes in Minecraft. Artistic purposes in Minecraft. That's what it is. So yeah, but actually, I will say though to this comment that it is a drama community, and Daniel Methsburg is gonna work that corner of the community. Um, we're moving. We got the boxes ready and everything, and we're gonna be kind of moving towards Daniel Methsburg channel, addressing all those stuff. But yeah,
Well, what if they strike you for using their content, Ryan? Because they're not beyond that, to be honest with you.
well, all right. So Daniel Messberg's kind of, well off, so he's not worried about like YouTube strikes and anything like that. So, you know, it's all good. We'll just make another Daniel Messberg, and then Daniel Messberg will make another Daniel Messberg, and it's just that's all. You know, we'll just be kind of moving over there.
Fair enough. Well, Beck, you came up here to try to trigger me in some point, so at least do better.
In Minecraft, Vic.
I don't care about I've never played Minecraft in my life, so he
Those
should
are
at least
virtual dildos, right? Those are virtual punishers.
hold on. Can you make him big screen because I can probably explain everything to you on screen.
I just learned last night.
If you
Almost
if you
mentally
don't want
capable
to
of this.
hear it, then absolutely don't. But
I might be able to pull this off. Hold on. And then I click. Oh, damn, it didn't work. It's a layout thing. Hold on.
no big deal.
Layout.
Oh, good.
And then, oh, god damn. Uh, layout. Is it?
Can't see anything right now.
I don't know how to do it. Like the solo layout, it doesn't exist anymore.
I
Swear to
don't
God.
I don't know how to tell you to do it, but No, I think what he has is on his avatar picture, and then he just showed something different, which would be so much more hilarious. Because, Vic, could you please show that any of that was ever ordered out of my bank account? Because it never was. It was ordered out of another bank account and then forced upon me. And
In Minecraft.
nope, in real life. Like, Brian, if I were to ever order you, we'll just say a fanny pack, and
Okay,
then
this is
it
getting weird.
showed
I
up.
am not involved in these activities. All right,
No, you're
I'm
not
not.
involved in anything, but Vic's trying to make a point right now. But if I ordered you a fanny pack and it showed up to your house, and then you lived with another person, and it was established that,
Wait, Elena. Nah, fanny pack. Wait, what is a fanny pack? That sounds wrong. I think I heard that word before, but I'm not sure.
well, a fanny pack is like one of them little like belly button waist type deals, the ones that like strap around your back, and then you pull out your credit cards or whatever. I think it's like a gambling thing.
Oh, is it like Is it like a backpack though?
No, it straps literally around your hips, dude.
All right, we're talking about strap-ons. We're talking about this. What's the connection? I'm kind of unnerved. What's that about?
Well, Vic was just talking, and then he had a picture, and then he changed the picture. And Brian, we'll just say I ordered you $148,000 worth of sex toys tonight, and then they showed up at your house. You don't have to accept them, but let's just say you lived with another person, and then they ordered them and they showed up. How do you deny that?
I never, I never been in that predicament before. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I also have never been in that predicament before until it happened. So,
It sounds like
but
dildo
like
laundering, because then it
I
puts
can
a
I
layer
can
of ambiguity.
I can go literally show every purchase I've ever made with my card and show that I have never made this purchase, and that somebody, well, I can't show somebody else's credit card purchases, but they did it. But I can absolutely show that I never made this purchase.
All right.
Okay. But no, back to the reason we were talking about. So, Ryan, last night, whenever you were
Yeah.
talking about CPPWV, I didn't agree with that. I thought that that was quite a bit excessive.
Well, okay. What comment?
Why? I think you saying, I don't know exactly, but I think you made at least two, and then saying how they weren't charged. It was something today, but I made a comment last night, and it was not something that I would agree that you should say, but obviously, who cares what the fuck I have to say? I think it was like how they haven't been charged yet or whatever. Like, I don't know. But I definitely disagreed on two things that you said last night.
Yeah. I think what I said was something about a registry, and they kind of, you know, look kind of funny. Like they might
Oh, well,
be on a certain kind of registry, but
bro, like, I look funny, you look funny. We don't look
well,
like we're on the registry, but we both
in a
look like we're
certain way,
autistic.
autism is fake. Autism doesn't exist. But
Well,
like,
autism is because of our parents taking Tylenol when we were birthed.
yeah, definitely.
But no, go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah. Shit, we got into so many topics. We're talking about CBP West Virginia. Yeah, no, I mean, I just think they're kind of like, I do kind of think they're trashy people. You know, that's kind of it. I saw them in the chat. Uh,
Well,
laughing about like like they're kind of like getting off like Clown was getting off at you know, a sexual assault story. So yeah, that's
I
pretty
haven't
creepy.
haven't seen that, but like if they're catchers and then they're laughing about a situation. I also haven't seen that. But then agreeing with Clown and then I haven't seen that. I think that that's kind of excessive, but from what I heard that you did, I think that that's very excessive. But there's fabricated proof that exists. I think you're totally justified, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If that's absolutely true, then you're justified. If it's not true, then you're probably the piece of crap. But I've never known you to be one to just fabricate and make up shit.
Yeah. Visas their main card make. Oh, they're disputing they're really pushing this issue. Wow. I thought we were talking about like I thought I was like facing allegations. God damn. You're on trial too.
I've been on trial for like 2 years, Ryan, dude. And do you think that I care what she thinks she knows? I really don't.
I think you're gonna get like audited by
Uh, Wait, did you say audited or
yeah,
audited?
like I think they're gonna it's kinda like a private investigation, they're seeing an unusual increase in activity in sales, maybe to where you live, and they're just like, how are all these sex toys going out so quick in one place? Is this like a sex toy laundering kind of
Bro,
situation?
I
I don't
literally
know.
just had the police in my house last night. So I would love
Yeah.
to know how I'm money laundering. Because in my opinion, my front door trim was fucking torn off. And I thought somebody tried to kick in my front door. But no, my fucking dogs were the culprit of the problem. Both of them. And I felt like a retard because I didn't want to touch anything. But no, my dogs just tried to tear the trim off my fucking door. So I guess go ahead. Not you, Ryan, but yeah, I'm looking like a retard, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I'm not mad at anybody, but people would love to try to attack me to try to get me triggered. And that's not who I am. I really don't give a fuck.
All right. Um, I think we're kind of past that topic. I don't really know what more to explore on that. Um, is there anything? I don't even know. Is the other panel still on, or like I'm trying to think of all my allegations though, because we got a lot of allegations. I got a lot of
No,
allegations against me. I don't know.
maybe there's other panels on and other allegations, but I think other people would like to talk crap through chat. Now, I'll drop down. They can talk as much crap as they want if they would love to. But remember, Missy, you just said how you cannot stand the sound of my voice, but yet you're commenting in chat right now. So,
And I take offense to that because our voice is very similar.
Ryan, I hope you take a shower tonight.
So that's not a very nice comment, Missy.
But no, I'll totally drop down. I guess Vic is making the point why he's winning, but I'll drop down. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Ryan.
Whoa, you're getting bugged?
What?
Wait, don't worry, Tag. I don't know, there's a bunch of people watching security cameras? Bro, what is going
Bro,
on?
Bro, if I
What in the
had
world?
security cameras, I would wish that I knew that my dogs just tore the front door off of the trim off my front door last night. Because the police asked me, do you have any cameras? And no, I don't. But they also said that they don't believe that anybody tried to kick in my front door last night. So that means that one of my two dogs tried to tear the fuck out of my door. But,
Oh, damn.
bro, if people have Ryan, let's just say you have a camera in your house, or I have a camera in my house, or whatever the fuck it goes like. And then it's just shared upon 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 people. That's more strange. But I don't know. Like, I'm not mad. I don't care that much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well,
I think, alright. So my voice.
Missy,
Trying to think of
you're.
the-
Sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, it was about the voice.
No, you were talking and then I interrupted you.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you decoy using your voice?
Do I decoy in my voice?
Yeah.
Ryan, I've decoyed in my voice, I think, in 2 calls in my existence. I've also offered to decoy for you and give you a catch, and then you declined it. But no, I've never once. I not in this voice, but I have decoyed in a male voice twice at least, and I think it was for Ray and somebody else.
Yeah. So you don't even have to change it or nothing. Right?
Brian, I've offered to get you a catch and you declined it. But yeah, or potentially if that's what you believe, yeah. I don't even have to change it. I could just do it.
A spirit. Um with Sam. Yeah. Vic is Vic is kinda just here.
Ryan, have you
Vic is
dropped the link recently?
Vic is
I
just
think
here.
I think
Okay, weren't
Sam
you
won.
going? Weren't you going? I just want to speak, so weren't you going? You were saying you were going to go just a sec ago.
What?
No? Yes? Maybe?
I did not just hear what she just said.
You said you were going. Are you going?
Oh, is that why you muted and just waited for this question?
No. Well, you did say you're going. Are you going? Or did you lie?
Yes, I lied right to your face because you
Well,
think you're
you
so
always do.
incredible.
No, I don't. I think I just have basic standards that make me around that average level. Whereas, because I do want to speak
What
to
would you
Sam,
describe
so
as basic standard?
you know exactly. And so, are you going or not?
No, I don't know exactly. That's why I just asked you what you would describe as basic standards.
Everything you don't have. So, are you going yet? I would like to speak to Sam.
Okay, so you said you would like to speak to Sam, and then you were talking, and then Sam muted, and everybody else muted, and then you shut the fuck up. I think that makes sense.
Yes, I said go. Like, there's a button to jump off the panel. Like, push that button.
you have any final words, Tech?
Do I have? He didn't ask me any questions, but I think Sam came up here to talk for a second. But no,
Piss
if
off, Tech.
Sam, does your questions or conversation pertain to Tech? Whoa, we have a quiet Sam. This is kind of weird. How do we
he's
have a quiet
figuring out
Sam?
his mic.
Oh, that's an explanation. That's like unsettling if Sam's quiet. I was like,
I'm sure Sam
I
will
don't know.
be back, and then he'll start speaking loudly. But Vic, you didn't ask me a direct question. You were silent for a little bit, so
Yes, okay, can you piss off? Like, there's a button to get off the panel. Can you fuck off?
oh, I'm pissing right now.
All right, go then.
All right. Do you need help?
No, I'll respectfully leave, but Vic, that's not a W like you think it is.
It's not meant to be a W.
All right.
Fucking asshole.
I'll let him.
But yeah, Sam,
I'll let
come
him
back
down.
up, Sam. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But I am hoping Sam can come up, that he can explain why watching a live stream of a private property with the consent of the property owner is in any way bad compared to streaming a court case that you press and acknowledge a button to say you will not rebroadcast it, and then going publicly live on YouTube to broadcast it. Sort of think that crosses more morals than anything else. So I'm really curious what Sam has to say about that. But how are you, Ryan?
I
You've been
am.
going through a lot of shit.
I think I'm more confused than anything. There's quite the topics being discussed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you sort of did provoke it a bit, but then in saying so, who provoked who first, right? Kind of been going on for a while, and so it's sort of hard to say. But yeah, a lot of unnecessary things have been coming out of people's mouths on both sides, really. But it is what it is, I guess. But is Sam coming back up? Really would like to get his perspective.
Hold on. I didn't have the link pinned. We can arrange that.
Fabulous. So what's the new thing that they're saying about you?
I mean, I think I kind of skimmed it a little bit. They were kind of saying like CPP West Virginia had catches, and I don't have catches, even though I do have catches. Some about how some about I don't even know. Some about like an allegation or something. I don't even know. A lot of stuff.
But it's
goes
so
on your
funny though, like what, 6 months ago or something, when any of us went against you or put you down, it was like, Ryan's a great catcher, why are you putting down a catcher and all that? And all of a sudden you're not a respectable catcher to them, just overnight, because of your change in perspective. It's kind of funny though.
Yeah, I didn't know being a good catcher depended on who you're calling out on in the community.
Catching is just the side piece, really, isn't it? Like, because the reality of it is what CPPWV has been catching a bit of heat in the chat and stuff the last week, but that's really mainly because of her not batting an eyelid about some brutal things said to your victim story right in front of her eyes while she's engaging in chat. I think that's where people have sort of lost any respect that they may have had, because
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say like me aside or whatever. Like as far as like maybe the principle of it, I just kind of think it's a little creepy. Like the idea of like a person trying to like catch pedophiles is like laughing at a situation where a pedophile committed a crime.
100%. It's like, and I don't know, when you're a child pred catcher, I think you're sort of an advocate to all sex crimes to an extent. Obviously, your focus is child, but regardless of if the victim was a minor or not, like it's quite alarming to think that they can have that predator, or they can not necessarily say it themselves, but have no issues or not even voice their concerns about some of the predatory style things that were said, like to say that, or, all the shit Clown was saying, really, right in front of her eyes. It's fucking dumbfounding, but
Yeah, and
yeah.
I think actually what I did say though, and I can clarify, is it's not generally my position to say that default the parent for not believing their kid, right? But I kind of see the thinking of it. I try to put all the blame on the pedophile, because they or the perpetrator rather, and because that's really where all the blame goes. But it's like if the argument is why didn't I have like perfect hindsight in a very difficult situation where I didn't have any evidence to make a claim or like no corroboration at all? And then at the end of the day, like they're actually all coping for Shifty, right?
Yeah.
Like how did I not navigate through that situation perfectly? But it's like you didn't believe your own kid. I don't know. I mean, like I just like I mean, if we're talking about hindsight, it's not there.
Look, when it comes to parenting, it is a really hard one, right? Because, think about all the different types of kids you went to school with, right? Someone's a parent of each type of kid, like a kid that just lies for attention, a kid that chucks tantrums, a kid that is smart, perfect, like there's so many, each child is so different. So, it is hard to really go, and I don't know enough about Tommy's story, like to kind of comment on it. Like, when a child is showing signs of abuse and they're repeatedly saying, then you do have to sort of say it's on the parents. But, if there aren't really that many visible signs, or if it sort of has been in a pattern of things that they've done till then, it can be quite hard for a parent to see through it. A lot of the times, it's for, if it's their first child, it's their first time as a parent, right? So they're learning as they go. And so it is a hard one to comment. And that's why when it comes to his son, I've never expressed any opinion on it, because parenting's fucking hard and I'm sure there's a lot to it. However, when it comes to something like, where it's, Shifty, the parent who's come out and said a story first, it's kind of like cognitive distortion, right? Where you sort of put out a story, have the blame on the victim already. And, for people all to buy it, that's where my sort of frustrations or concerns come, because it's a case of, well, then why didn't everyone believe Ed when he did that video on when he got to Florida or whatever, explaining his situation? Many of us didn't believe it because it just seemed like bullshit, And on that same notion, this whole Shifty thing, it just seems like bullshit. And like the Dan Islander said, maybe we need to speculate and ask these questions to get to the truth. And that's what we're doing, as endorsed by the Nonya Knights, So I'm not really sure what the issue is with what's happening right now, but,
I mean,
yeah.
at this point though, we have a lot of I mean, we were operating from absolutely no information or whatever, but they at this point they've confirmed everything. I mean, they were pretty much all the people that would have been involved in Zooms and Slacks and in that conversation. And basically, they confirmed the same thing that I said I heard,
Correct.
only in a way more graphic way. I think what's true, which I also kind of said, was that I think when it was explained to me, it was said in a much more watered down way based on the way it was kind of asked in the questions. So I think Clown said something like, I was receiving information basically secondhand, you know?
But
I
you
guess from
heard it
somebody.
from Shifty though, didn't you?
I did, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
Yeah.
weird for them to say that, because if anything, that would defeat their argument more, even though it's not
Mm.
true. Because that
Yeah.
would mean that it's even less than no information. It would be like hearing someone from another person saying something happened with no information.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I guess he went into like really graphic detail and felt comfortable to do so uh with them, and I
And
guess
why
they're
would someone
proud of him.
feel the need to be recording it if there was no concerns there is the other thing, right? For Clown to record that conversation where it's explained more in detail, obviously they either have the thought of weaponizing it later or they were a bit suspicious of it. So, so they can't really, if that's not the case, is Clown recording every single conversation IG thing that he has? Like, if he's not recording every single one, then there's obviously something that was sus or anything like that. But yeah, I think you might have not seen it because you were in that space, but this also ties into this why so many people are suspicious about the whole Clown thing as well, right? Because when you look at Clown, let's just disregard everything he's said, right? Him explaining the Macca's toilet, everything, right? Even if you disregard that, what we have seen is paperwork of his ex, who went to the police because she feared her life. So Clown was abusive towards his ex-partner. There was a child victim. The people never turned up to court. If an abusive person has a victim, one would assume that they would scare them, and that's why they never turned up to court. And if we look at a pattern of behavior, what does Clown do to everyone that upsets him, bothers him, or he wants to control? He threatens them, whether it be Junie, TBS, everyone. He's always threatening. That's his character. It hasn't changed. And so when we
Yeah.
think about his character, then it only makes sense that the kid never went to court because she was scared, because that's how he controls people, and he still does today. And then when we realize that Nonya would say, no, I've seen proof. And, she says that without seeing proof. We've now learned that through few examples. And so the only defense that Clown has is that Nonya has seen the proof. So it's all clear. So then that then brings into question as well, right? That's a common lie defense that they use. So, it's a combination of things that make people really suspicious of Clown, right? It's not just the fact that he had the court case. And that's why it is a bit, different to Ed at the first stage when that paperwork dropped, because, only some people saw, because the people who didn't have the strong report talking to Ed behind the scenes, to us, it looked like he's avoiding the question, bang, bang. So it was sus to us straight away, right? The people he was close to, he was apparently, because I didn't contact him behind the scenes after that drop. And so, but I get the understanding that he was explaining things, talking to them and things like that. And so was providing that reassurance. So I think that's more the reason why the world's apart. The world kind of split apart. But yeah, with Clown, I think it's a bit more clear cut in that sense.
Uh, yeah. I mean, as far as like the shifting thing,
Yeah. Shifty
yeah.
and clown,
I
to be
guess.
honest.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean the clown thing. Yeah. I mean, he definitely has no like that's his only thing he can do. Like he has no like in the real world, like he's not an intimidating guy. You know. I mean, like from what I heard, he's like 5'6", you know, like 260 pounds. Vic saw him in real life. Um, and you know, definitely a bad back or whatever. You know, he has no like ounce of power in real life. Like he can't even work because like he complains like about his back. That's like his own words, not mine. So it kind of makes sense that like you know, people like that people that kind of like have like a natural tendency to you know like want power over other people just have like they just kind of know deep down whether they're gonna admit it or not that they ain't shit. Like they just have like absolutely nothing out for the world. They have no power or anything, you know. So that's kind of why certain people kind of act the way they do.
No, I think
Um,
Clem has admitted it. Like, last year or something, he was saying how his legs are sort of like melting away, and then maybe in the last 3 or 5 months on Nonya's panel, he was pretty much saying, "Oh, I can do anything. You guys can't. I don't have a job. I don't have anything." And it's true. He can't be fucked with because he's got nothing. So I think he knows it too.
yeah. Oh yeah. Also, I mean, I'm not going there or whatever.
Yes.
But if someone wants to tell me something they're saying or whatever, I can answer it here. But yeah, I'm not giving them quote.
Test.
Oh, you pass. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
well,
just
if
waiting
there's
for
somewhere
Vic.
you don't
I'm
want to
just
go,
waiting for Vic to
FCC
finish
will
up
go.
asking you questions, and then he can go. Yeah.
Was I rude? Or was it kind of
You're like you were like a mean teacher. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't. It got to a point where I was like, does he
Well,
not get it, or is he
yeah,
avoid like?
some people need like very like directive clues. I get it. It's like you're not going to suggest anything. You're just going to be like, this is what's happening right now. You're leaving this panel. Okay.
I was just lucky that Ryan obliged and helped as well. But where the
Mhm.
fuck is Sam? I thought he wanted to comment about the
Yeah, where is
webcam
Sam?
thing.
Where's Sam?
Yeah, where's Sam?
Cowered
I'd
away
like
again.
to really.
I mean, these I haven't been tracking too much, what's been going on lately, but um, it sounds like everyone's running to the defense of these CPP West Virginia girls, including Damone. And wasn't he the one that was dragging them for like years for trying to get off opioids and using methadone, which is like legally permissible? So you have these two female lesbian catchers that were addicted to opioids and they're trying to get off opioids using methadone. And Damone, like, recovery drug shamed them for years. And all of a sudden he wants to come to their defense.
Wow.
I mean,
Is that like
that doesn't really like sort out. I mean, I'm trying to like reconcile that in my brain.
is is methadone like a CPP tradition there or something like
It
that?
is. It's part of the cult. Yeah. Yep.
Is
Yeah.
that the barbecues?
Yeah. It's what most people use like barbecue sauce, but Tom B just lathers all the fucking hamburgers with methadone.
Damn. Hold on, I gotta
And
change my
and then
avatar for that one.
and then and I'm not coming after these girls, these catchers, but I mean you they become victims of somebody saying something about them. It's like, oh my god, wow, they're so offended. I mean, you also remember when TBS got doxxed, right?
Yeah.
They were in all those chats rooting it on, right? And you know where they were at most recently? I think it was Anthony Cruz's chat and Nunez's chat when people were openly mocking your story, Ryan. These are pred catchers that
Yeah.
are supposedly out there to protect children that were mocking your story and laughing at the fact that you were 22 years old when it happened. Why couldn't he have defended himself? It's his fault. He was on a date and the date went sour, and so now he's calling it like sexual assault. They were in
Yeah.
those chats like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Catchers.
and I guess like and I
Fuck
guess like
them,
all right,
dude.
I mean, and I guess we have to like kind of, let's say like we change the gender role or whatever. Like, could you imagine if it was like predator catchers say something like that about like a woman that came forward or whatever? 22. I feel like
Yeah, exactly.
now,
Yeah,
now I
total
mean,
double standard.
yeah. I mean, as far as the actual answer, like I did explain, what would be called tonic immobility. There's a lot of people that think like, man, if that happened to me, I would react like this. But
Yeah,
actually, like when the brain and body like actually respond to something, uh, you know, that violates people in a certain way, it even if you're, you know, uh, Terry Crews could be a giant,
yeah,
you will have the reaction, and
yeah,
people won't react the way they think they'll react.
exactly.
Um,
And that's not a man thing. It's not a woman thing. It's a human. It's something that happens in the human body.
yeah,
But to see them in those chats going along with everything, all the people, Nunya included, so many people, Anthony Cruz, making fun of you because you told your story, Clown Force, obviously, saying that you were on a date with a man and it went sour, and so you're calling it sexual assault, mocking
yeah,
you, laughing to say like, oh my God, he was 22, he wasn't even a kid. I'm like, are you? I mean, people can say whatever they want to say on the internet. I get that, but if you're a catcher and you want to dip your toes into the drama, when it comes back to you in any way, shape, or form, don't fucking cry about it. And that includes Tommy. Not Tommy's all virtuistic about like, oh Ryan, this that. Let's not forget. Tommy has a long criminal history of abusing women and abusing children and abusing drugs and of theft, right? All kinds of things, contributing to the delinquency of minors, right? And all of a sudden they want to become like virtuous people, and all of a sudden everyone's on their high horse, right? Everyone's on their fucking high horse. Get a fucking grip, people. I mean, I think if catchers want to be in the drama, they're going to be in the fucking drama. If catchers don't want to be in the drama, then they can just keep fucking catching, but don't
yeah,
complain about people coming at you sideways and talking shit on you, whether it's warranted or not, if you're in the drama.
yeah. It's gonna get a kind of thought out a little bit. I guess I said what I said, right? Um, about like the sex offender registry or whatever with them, because look, like, it's kind of like they're creepily like laughing at a sex crime, you know? And that is something that I would think someone, if they were on the sex offender registry, like something like that would do. Like
Yeah,
behave in a
yeah. I mean,
creepy way.
they're not taking it seriously at all. So it makes
It's
me
not
think
even
too. I'm like,
it's not
it's
even that. It's like it's kind of like enjoying a like, it's like enjoying a sex crime,
yeah, yeah.
being
It's a
It's
fantasy. Yeah.
Yep, it's
laughing at
it's
it,
bordering
like
on like clown-like behavior. Yeah, it's like the stuff that
The
that we know what clown does. Clown is Oh man, clown is he's fucking
But
disgusting, dude.
so like in terms
Yeah.
of like CPPWV or like a few others, like what was the difference when Will said what he did to Kev and they all got really upset, right? But then,
Yeah.
you know, they're in another chat where Clown's there saying, and I think Rolling Stone and someone else saying shit about your victim story. Like, I don't see where the difference is at, you know? Like,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
can they be upset at one but not the other?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the reality is, it has really nothing to do with the merit of the issue. Like, if let's say Kevin wasn't on their quote unquote side or whatever, or turned on them or whatever, how the sides worked, then they would be like none of that would matter. Like, they don't actually care about stuff like that.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? Um, and also, my thing is, had Clown and probably those other people, hadn't you know kind of essentially blackmailed me over it, because that's something that does have a lot of stigma. It probably would be something that I would have just kept to myself probably until the end.
Yeah.
Life, you know.
I believe that, and
It,
that's
it
why I
really,
Yeah.
came up on first panel afterwards to say sorry to you because
Yeah.
I believe if you wanted to come out with it, you would have come out back in that time of Just Jules, Chris LaRoche, and when people were telling their survivor stories,
yeah,
and you never did. And then anytime people joked about things, you would simply just say that's creepy. But I think a couple of times you sort of expanded that you do have a history, you just prefer not to talk about it. So, when that happened, I was pretty shocked that you came out with it, to be honest.
Yeah. And it wasn't just clown. It was Nunya. She was the main instigator, saying that we're gonna go live tomorrow, nigga. And we're gonna tell Ryan's essay story. Like she
yeah.
said
She
that.
said,
Like she
she said,
literally fucking said that in chat. She
she said
said
on,
she was going to basically dox your survivor story that you told people in a private stream or a Zoom or whatever in confidence, right?
and she said on a
That's what she
panel.
said. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's gonna get thought out. Like, she said actually on a panel, that she knows why I do what I do because what happened to me was when I was an adult, not a kid. Now that might be what it is, but what is necessarily wrong with that? You know, um, seeing, uh, you know, like a sexual predator doing whatever they're doing, and then you wanting to catch sexual predators
Mhm.
because of that. Um,
And
you
I
know,
think it's normal because, like you were in a state of shock where you couldn't say anything. So you would have realized how vulnerable you felt at that moment. And so you would want to help people who are more vulnerable than you. And people who are more
Yeah.
vulnerable than you are kids. So
Hmm.
it's a normal reaction,
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's a normal reaction, but a reaction many can't do. They won't have the courage to actually get up and do a catch. Like, I mean, doing a solo catch is, pretty gutsy. It's either you're brainless or gutsy, one or the other. You're not thinking of the consequences or you just have guts. It's
yeah,
something that not many could do, especially in a country where people carry guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and I
Yep.
guess where I ultimately kind of went at it, where when I kind of realized that they were going in that direction, was I actually feel a little bit more at peace than I did with that situation now, because you know uh this is something that basically is kind of like if you kind of did look up like whatever happened, like the Terry Crews situation or whatever, there was just stigma with that situation. There's just like they literally put the entire situation onto him, like not even on the person that did it. And it's kind of like if whatever happened to me there's probably a lot more people that has happened to, and there's science behind answers to, well, why I don't understand how you didn't react the way you should have, or whatever. You didn't recognize it right away, especially when you're even in the mindset that that's not even something that can happen to you. So
And I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
A lot
because
of
actually,
people.
yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
go ahead.
because actually, like, what if you probably were to ask me at 21, you know, like, what, like, if something like that could happen to me or a guy, I would have said no. I actually thought that was an impossibility.
Yeah.
And in your brain, when you're kind of a guy, you're like extra wired to not think like that. If anything, maybe if someone squares up to a fight or something, that's something you understand, but not
Yeah,
that.
you're preempting it because it's face on. But and I think it's an extension to what, Sam often says about, female preds where the male victims don't speak up. I think it's not just about female preds, it is just in male victims in general, because, at school or in social growing up, girls are taught that they get assaulted. But, a lot of these parents getting interviewed these days is like, we never taught our son what to do if this happens to them, because it just wasn't in, it's not something parents were teaching. They would focus more on their daughters to go,
Yep.
watch out for these signs, watch out for that. So they're mentally prepared. But a boy that gets lured on Roblox, or a boy that gets groomed at the library, the parents haven't coached their kids as
Or by a
much.
teacher,
So
Yeah.
yeah, and so
And
that
we've
and
had that. We've had that too in this community. We've had men in this community that have talked about their history, being a young boy with that, who, were essentially molested, even though they don't consider that, by older women, and they see it as a coat of arms or a badge of honor. They minimize it and trivialize it, and it's pretty disgusting. I mean, I'm not going to name any names, but we all know who I'm talking about. There's several
Oh,
people, and they laugh and
yeah.
they joke about it. And it's like I'm like, read the fucking room, dude. You're whether you like it or not, you're in a pred catching community, and whether it's male, female, female, male, 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 female, female, it's all sexual assault. It's all, there's no consent. So, for people to claim that, some of it's a rite of passage, versus like, an essay, that's fucking wild, dude. Talk about chauvinism. Yeah.
and also I think when it comes to like male assault, I think that level of shock could happen at an older age as well, because a lot of straight men just, would accept there's gays in this world, but we just don't think about what a gay interaction is. So when someone, because I had a time when a guy sort of made advances, never got, more than trying, but the first reaction is a bit of a state of shock, because you're sort of like, yes, gays exist in this world, but all except for my one friend was heterosexual. I've only ever, really been out with, girls, and then on double dates where it's too heterosexual and stuff like that. So I sort of get that at 22, when a guy makes an advance, you do get in a state of shock. And when you shut down because of shock, there's different levels of it, right? Like some people just shut
Yeah.
down and recover quite quick. But, let's talk about females who actually get assaulted to the end. Some of them say they were just in a state of shock and they couldn't move. They didn't know what to do. It wasn't a case of, the guy was just too strong for me.
Yeah.
They just say that I was in shock. I couldn't do anything. Even if that person was young or old, I just was in shock, so
Yeah.
it happens.
And the biggest thing that I'll just kind of say, without going into detail, which I'm not going to do. But like this happened. I was working at a job, and I was also starting like a freelance web development kind of thing to make websites. Like Nunya said something like, "Well, what kind of websites you were making?" He was like a pedophile, whatever. He was doing something in music or whatever. So he just gave me a business card or whatever. And the way I looked at it was, I'm gonna be able to start getting experience as a web developer, and that was about it. So, and whatever happened very quick and very unexpected. And yeah, like, and the question is like, how did I not understand it? Because how would I understand that? Like, how would I really understand like how that could happen? So I remember it just being like a weird, scary thing. And until I kind of had the card and I noticed like his name was Rick on the name tag because he had to change his name because he wouldn't be able to work where he was working. His name was Rick.
Yeah. Yep.
His name was Rich. So then I don't know. I did feel bothered by it for a couple days, and then I just kind of had a instinct to look up in the sex offender registry, and yeah, and only until then it occurred to me that that was a sexual assault because yeah, like I mean, the concept of that happening that way, like that, no, it didn't click.
Yeah.
And people are just like,
I'm not going to question your story.
yeah, and people just kind of go on and they be like, and I've been seeing the comments, and they're like, "How did he not understand what happened?" Or like, if that happened to me, I would have reacted this way. And the science says that's not true. You don't know how you'd react.
But you're living in a world of reality and science, and these people are just fucking trolling you, and it's disgusting, dude. So
Yeah.
don't try. Yeah. You cannot rationalize how people are treating this. But I wanted to talk about something very quickly, or just make a few statements, because when Vic first came up here, he was talking about not knowing too much about Tommy's story with his son. But I think the facts are out there, and they're pretty clear. And he continues to talk about this story as if it's his own story, but it's actually the story of his son, who has since changed his name and moved away and wants nothing to do with Tommy. But it was like a period of 2 years, and it was a family friend. It was a family friend. We all know that. And so I think I'm going to push back a little bit on Vic's comments of saying like, well, we don't really know what happened. The kid said something, maybe he didn't believe him. But I'm like, at a minimum, if you're a half decent parent and your kid comes to you to say that my Uncle Joe is abusing me and touching me, you fucking question your Uncle Joe and you remove your child from the presence of Uncle Joe. That's easy. That's a no-brainer. You don't have to call the police, whatever. But you can remove your child from that situation, right? And he didn't do that, man. He didn't do that for 2 years, and now he wants to cry wolf, like he claims his kid did. And it's fucking disgusting. He's making money and grifting off of his fucking followers using his son's story. And every time he does that, he re-victimizes his son.
Yeah,
so fuck you, Tommy.
Did he have permission to tell that story? It's like it sounds
I
like
don't think so, dude.
didn't
No,
have that permission.
of course not.
And that's like
No,
the worst thing to do.
Terrible,
That's
man.
one thing that's one thing I do feel sorry for, like, because people
dude.
who know him would know who his dad is, most likely, who live, because they all live in that area, right? So
well, that's why he changed his name. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
like,
dude, he changed his last name. Yeah.
Yeah, that, because that kind of sucks, because that's his story to share when he's ready, not for people to go, oh, I've heard your story, your dad said it,
Thank you. Exactly. Yeah. So wanted to clarify that. Okay, we got somebody else here. Who's this?
What's up, man? I know Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to. What's your email or phone number? I got something for you.
Oh, so okay. So it's basically is watching nvcap@gmail.com.
Is watching. Wait, is watching NVCat?
NVCAP, like Nonviolent Citizens Against Predators, NVCAP.
Is that FTK?
This is Joey.
Oh, okay.
Is watching NVCat at Gmail.
I thought it was FTK, who hasn't had a catch in 645 days, for the record. Down bad.
So is Sam not coming back up?
Yeah.
Does he not want to discuss, restreaming a court case versus the private webcam? But I'll give him one thing, restreaming a public court case on YouTube did make me laugh. So it did have a lot of humorous impact. So yeah.
Oh, bro. Yeah, remember we got the like the judge just found out right there that like someone's just not supposed to be recording, and then boom.
So yeah, so I'll give him that. What he did was more humorous, maybe, to the public eye, but yeah.
Dude, the alt accounts on the Zoom when Tommy was in court, all the different alt account names that people were plugging into their Zoom.
All right, put on your turd hats. We might have a turd on panel.
Let's go,
Hold
dude.
on. A turd on panel. All right, what do you want?
I think he's restreaming you, probably.
I'm not restreaming you.
Who identify yourself and state your purpose?
If you have any intelligence
Shut
at all,
the
you
fuck
look at my.
up, dude.
Shut the fuck up, you fat
asshole.
ass! You
You
look like the
fucking
chicken guy
bitch.
from Toy Story
Stop
2, dude.
stealing
What are you
your
gonna do?
dad's
Have Cheeto dust all over
Benzos,
your
dude.
fucking shirt, and you're gonna go around? Oh my god! Oh, they stole my toys! I gotta go on a flight to Japan to get my
the Rio
toys.
Rancho
'Cause you're a fat
Policia,
ass.
Sandoval County. What's up, Jeff?
What's up, Daniel?
How you doing, man?
How you doing, man?
I'll get you a free platinum Tinder account if you want one, dude. Are you looking for love
Don't
in
need
all the
one.
wrong places?
I'm not you. I'm not
I'm
a fat ass
looking for
dork
love in all
with
the
four
wrong places.
chins.
Looking for love in
Fortunes in
so
all
many
the wrong
places.
swinging
Searching around.
down to my
There you
titties.
go. You got
I'm
it.
a fat ass like a Daniel Newman.
You gonna dox me, Jeffrey McClurg?
Yes, Daniel.
All right.
Jesus.
Calm down, Jeff. Just what's going on, bro? How you doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. What's up? How
How's
can we
the
help
weather
you?
over there, bitch?
Bro, you're not making any sense.
How
You're
you
crashing
feel
out,
about
dude.
being the new documentary coming up?
Read the
You're
banner.
crashing out,
Are you
bro.
excited? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited, dude. I'm very excited.
Can you give us
from a scale from 1 to 10? How excited are you?
I'm pretty excited.
I'd say like 3. Yeah.
3?
I'm about a
Okay.
7.
All right. What about let's see the next person. Who's all up here?
Yeah,
Here
okay.
we have FCC. We have I'm sorry, Bick. Let's see. We have I don't know who that is, and then we have Ryan. So how are one by one? Who's excited about being on a new documentary series?
What
Is it going to
documentary
feature your
series?
mom? Is your mom going to be in it, dude?
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic.
If your
All
mom's
right,
in it, I
there we
definitely want
go.
to be on it, dude.
She
Yeah.
might be. She might be. Yeah. Next
I
person.
love it, dude. Yeah.
Okay,
Can
so
you
we
get
got
your
a
mom on
Well,
panel now, Jeff?
Jeff,
we got
what's
a
the
three. Hold on, I'm
documentary?
not done yet. We got a
Jeff,
three
Get
from
your mom
FCC.
up
We
here,
got a
Jeff. I want to talk to your
finish.
mom,
from
bitch.
Let me finish,
the other gay
Jeff.
guy
I
up
want to
here,
talk to
whoever
your
that is.
fucking old ass mom,
And
bitch.
then we have to find out who.
Let's go,
let's
dude. Get
see.
your mom
We
on
Why
got
panel,
would you
Jeff.
mock
Come on.
someone?
Fireside, and
Why
we
would
got
you say
Bick,
anything
and we got
about
blah
gay?
blah
Your
blah blah
best
blah blah
friend is
blah
gay.
blah 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 blah
Do
blah
y'all
blah
like each
blah.
other?
How you
Or...
like that? How
Why
you
do you
like that?
allow
Ryan, be a
OTR, the
bitch and kick
tranny,
me.
around your fake grandkids, Jeff?
Hey,
Why?
Ryan,
OTR is
kick me.
gay.
Nah,
Be a
you're
He's a
doing
bitch and
good so
kick me.
tranny, dude,
far.
and
You're
he's
doing
gay.
so
Ryan, be a
good.
bitch and kick me.
No,
Be
he's
a
not.
bitch
You're
and
doing
kick
so
me.
good.
FCC. That
Be a
was a
bitch and
total
kick me.
lie, dude. That was
Be a
some
bitch and
random
kick
Kick
me.
me.
pictures. He's
Be a
never
bitch
dressed
and
like
kick
a
me.
woman.
Be a bitch and kick me. Be a bitch and kick me.
No,
Come on,
Jeff,
Ryan,
Why
be a
don't you
bitch.
just,
Be a
Jeff,
bitch.
just
Ryan,
Jeff,
be cool,
why are
Jeff?
you
Be cool.
calling
Let's hang out, dude.
why are
can
you
you
calling
tell?
Hang
CPP
out,
West
Jeff.
Virginia?
Hang out.
Why are you calling CPP West Virginia pedos with no
Just
tangible evidence whatsoever?
look at
Why
him.
are you
Look
calling
at
them
him.
pedos, Jeff? Why are you doing that?
What? That's you
Jeff,
definitely
come
can't
on,
Ryan,
tell
dude.
a
why are
That's
you
pedo
crazy,
from
calling
a
bro.
West
pedo.
Virginia predator? Why are you calling CPP West Virginia pedos without tangible evidence, Ryan?
Some of the most beautiful
Do you have
people are
proof
Yeah,
that
I
pedos.
have a clip.
Ryan
Absolutely.
didn't
Everybody
say
has a
that?
clip. We
Definitely
play it
not.
tonight like 3
Do you have
times.
proof that they're not pedos?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look at their record.
Show the proof. Then drop the link, dude. Show the proof. You got
Drop the link.
receipts?
Show the proof. Show the proof.
You
Look
got
it up,
receipts?
bitch. Pay yourself.
Look it up.
Pay
Prove
the
that they're not pedos, Jeff.
$29.99 yourself, bitch.
Prove it.
Prove it.
I don't believe it all. That's
Oh,
ridiculous
is
for
that
you
Sam?
guys to
Wait,
even go
is that
there.
Sam? Is that Sam?
So it's Z. It's Z. Merry Christmas.
No, shut up. It's Sam.
Z.
See.
Come on,
Sham
Sam.
Clinton.
We know
It's
your
Christmas
voice and
time,
The
Jeff.
everything.
Aren't we
lady,
supposed to be happy and loving?
the ladies from West Virginia are nice ladies. Leave them alone. That's all.
Exactly.
Exactly,
Thank
Leave
you.
Jeff.
them
Thank
alone.
you. I
Exactly,
appreciate
Jeff.
that.
Leave them
Leave them
alone,
alone.
Jeff.
I'm
Why would
talking
you
to
come
you,
up here and
FCC.
call
We're
them
talking to
pedos,
you,
Jeff?
FCC and Ryan.
Why would you come up here and call them pedos?
No,
That's
Ryan
wild, Jeff.
did.
No,
I flipped the
you just
question.
did.
Oh, quit trying to reverse. You're
Rewind the
trying to
tape.
use reverse psychology. It's not going to work.
Rewind the
dumbass.
tape, dude. Listen to it.
Dude, why are you so ugly? How'd you get 5 chins?
Did
How's that
you,
work?
Jeff?
What are you talking
I may
about?
have misheard. Jeff, did you say you were going to
What happened to your
train
mouth, Jeff? What happened to your mouth, cum
Ryan?
Wait,
zombie?
why? I can't hear 3 people at the
No,
same
I'm
time.
saying I
One
thought
person at
you
a
were
time.
trying to.
Zombie.
One person at a
Zombie.
time.
We know
I
that
know
Ryan
you're a
is an
fat
atheist.
ass of FCC. I
You
know
were
you're
going
a
to
fat
try to get.
ass.
Were you going to try to help Ryan get religion by training him to ride missionary or what?
Sam, why are you acting like that and saying stuff
No,
like that? That's a
that's what
sexual.
I
Those
heard.
are your
No,
words,
that's
Jeff.
not
That's a
sexual.
sexual
No,
assault on the
it's not.
internet, dude. Why are you saying something like that? That's disgusting, dude. That's so
No, that's what you
disgusting.
said.
Why would you?
Right? No,
Why would you say
assault
Jeff,
on
something
the
like that?
internet.
That's so
Jeff,
disgusting, dude.
that's what you said, Jeff.
Dude. Why would you
You
say
said you
something
were
like
going to
that?
train him to ride missionary or become missionary or
Show
something to that
receipts.
effect.
Show receipts. Show
That's what you
receipts.
said.
Receipts.
You
Bro, you
Show
were gonna ride
receipts.
missionary?
is this going to make the
Getting
documentary?
crushed, Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam, you're in the documentary
Oh,
Wait.
please!
Who
I
with
have to
Pepper
be in a
Stairs.
documentary.
With Pepper Stairs, you have a pedophile catching
Yeah,
pedophiles. What?
no.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
what's up with the
remarkable.
missionary situation? What is a
Yeah,
missionary
yeah,
situation?
And
yeah.
of course,
Who
Ryan
got
Jeff,
doesn't
can you
know
missionary?
explain to
shit.
us
Who
what
was
He
missionary?
missionary
lives under a
position is, Jeff?
rock.
Jeff's had sex with 10,000
Actually,
women.
Jeff,
Jeff, tell us what
why don't you get
missionary
your
means.
fucking mom on
10,000?
here to talk about
No.
missionary position? Get
No,
your
My
mom on, dude.
chromosomes are
yeah,
freaking
it
We
was
want to hear your mom talk
Magic
about
10,500. Now
missionary
Johnson
it's
or some
10.
position.
shit. I don't have that many under my belt. I just got over a few hundred.
Jeff, get your mom on panel to talk about missionary now, bitch.
Dude,
Can
you're
you?
disgusting, bitch. Hey, FCC, I got a challenge for you.
Get her
Seriously,
up here, dude.
no. I got a challenge for you. Are you scared? Are you scared
Get
to
her
hear
up
it?
here.
I'm
Yeah,
scared.
let's hear it, Jeff. Let's hear it.
I'm scared that you're scared. You don't want to hear it.
Let's hear it, Jeff.
How about FCC? Legally, let's meet somewhere and let's have a boxing match legally on a live stream. You and I.
Dude,
Oh,
Come on, we can do it, dude.
I'll drive to Rio Rancho tomorrow and beat your fucking ass, dude.
Red
Okay,
Hood
do
is
it.
always
And I'll
Do
kick
it.
your mom's
Do
ass.
it.
And I'll kick your dad's
It
ass.
wouldn't be
All three of
legal
you.
though, because you'd be arrested. But
Doesn't
I'm
matter if
talking
it's
about
legal. You wanted to fight. You want to fight? Let's fight, dude.
All right, let's fight legally.
I'll take you out, and then your mom, and then your dad.
Legally.
All three of you.
So I just wanted to say,
You couldn't even get up off your
I just want
freaking
to say,
easy chair.
Merry Christmas, Red Hood. And I wanted to also say, if Bit could provide
You're fine, Cap. You're good.
a little bit more context to. Now, I'm asking my question first, and then Bit, you can ask your question, but mine gets answered first, which is, can you clarify and explain the context of your statement a few nights ago, which you got pounded for in many
You got
different ways?
wait, Sam. You got pounded by who? Ryan? You got
Bit
pounded
got
by Ryan?
no. Bit got pounded by the
Oh, you got
boys,
pounded
the
by
boys
Bick. My
club.
bad. Sorry.
Yeah. No, Bit got pounded by the boys because he made a revelation that was supposed to remain secret, that there was a bunch of uh, uh, eyeballs staring at private security cameras, and it just like, did somebody hack in, or was this? Can you just illuminate
Wow,
us and
that's
enlighten
quite the
us?
allegation, Sam.
And
You have proof?
can you enlighten us, Vic, on the circumstances surrounding a bunch of men staring at a CCTV camera of a man and his mother collecting his belongings?
So, unlike the circumstances where you broadcast the court case with against
Now
the
the
against the
circumstance
direction,
we need
See,
to
I
go
said
again,
back to
Hold on.
answer
Let
my
him
Ryan.
question
answer.
first.
Let
I'm
him
answering your
answer.
You
question.
are redirecting it, and I
Let
said
him
answer mine
I
answer.
am
first on
One
the
answering the
way
question.
question.
on the
Why
bullshit
were
and put
you
another ship on the
guys
Bobby with the
Shut up,
staring
Honda.
at
Jeffrey.
Shut up,
cameras,
Daniel.
So,
TBS,
are
and
you going to let
everybody
me
else?
answer? Are you going to let me
Yeah,
answer?
don't ask me a question. I'm waiting for an
I'm
answer.
not.
I'll shut up.
Where was
I'll
the
shut up.
question? Where
Go
was the
ahead,
question?
Sam.
I didn't ask a question. I just said that unlike when someone streams a court case which explicitly says no rebroadcasting allowed, when you look at someone's private property
Blah
and the
blah blah
property
blah
owner
blah blah
has
blah.
surveillance on that property and the property owner gives you consent to view that, just like a lot of ring cameras get uploaded on YouTube and things. If the private property owner gives you consent, there's nothing wrong with it,
No. I
especially
understand, but what I'm
especially
asking
when
is,
no,
were you
hey,
a
are you going to let
watch?
me?
Sam,
No, shut the
Sam, let
fuck
him
up.
finish, Sam.
Excuse
Let him
me,
finish.
Mrs. Samantha,
You're the
please
one.
just
You're the one that revealed this, not
Samantha.
me, Vic. You
I'm
revealed this.
answering your question,
I know
Let
you.
dumbass.
him
I
finish,
know,
Samantha.
Vic. I know how this place works and the boys
Oh,
work and
God.
So, are you
functions.
going to let me
I
answer the question, or are you just going to rattle new questions? Like,
I
what is
know
it
that
you
you were
want?
I know you were about to be kicked out of the club because you revealed such sensitive topics, and you're pressed and a little bit bitter and angry about revealing it, and that I
Well, why do
keep
you think
bringing it
Tommy
up.
Boy on the panel said that it was already out with the Moans video? It was nothing new. So there's no
So
outrage.
it was
There's
not new
nothing.
that you guys were staring at these cameras all the time.
Well, once ever is all the time now for you, is it?
Well, no,
Once ever.
how would any of us
No.
ever know?
Explain to me.
So
Explain to me how once ever is all the time
well,
now.
the move out that Tech had was a process over many weeks, right? It wasn't just a one. There was different
Why?
episodes, right?
Why? You get a protection order from the police. The police then arrange one singular day to collect the items. Tech, like he said in the clip that Missy has, he purposely left a couple of boxes and his dog. So he had to drag it out over 2 visits. We did not watch the second visit. We only watched the one visit where it was ordered by the court or the police when he can collect it.
But you had access to the upload link, or the login to the cameras, right?
Negative. No, it was streamed and I was able to hop in at the time to watch it. I have no credentials to log into that camera. It wasn't recorded. It was viewed live.
Okay, so that's just okay. So there was a stream running of a live stream of these cameras, and so the boys were not
Singular,
all logging.
singular,
The
singular
boys,
camera and
were not given credentials to
fuck
someone's
no.
security surveillance
Fuck no.
system to log in and watch.
That's something you
And
would
what
do.
was exactly
Why are you bringing Cam into this? Cam has
in
nothing
what
to do with this.
and what exactly what was the purpose of
Leave
everyone
fucking Cam alone.
watching Tech? What was the purpose of all you boys watching Tech pick up his dildo? What was the reasoning behind it exactly?
the reasoning was that he was being very spiteful and things. He was doing everything he can to try and get back at all of us, in particular two people, but in general, all of us. He was very vindictive. And so obviously when someone's coming all out at you, and as you know, like, so he was out of options. That's why he went crawling to PHI and Nonya going, we've got this info, please take me in, right? That was the period this was all happening. And because he's so vindictive, we all like to have a laugh, you know, at someone who's being a dickhead to you. So we thought that would probably be the most funniest moment for us to be in a voice chat, have just banter and laugh at a loser.
Okay, all right. Hey, that's just good info. That's something that we had never been told about before, and it's just good to know that when people say they don't, I'm not saying this is a dox or anything, but that is, some might assume that that's a little bit strange that you all did that, and if is that something that you all are regularly engaged in, that type. It's no surprise to me that TBS and the likes of those folks didn't say anything about that forever, and you slipped up and said something. We weren't
But
supposed to know that, right? We weren't supposed to
what
know this.
No, there's a lot of things that unless it's a worthwhile moment, there's no point to say. Like, there's a lot of things I could still say, but you sort of wait for the right moment. And at that moment, I thought it was, perfect. Vic brought it up.
And
Tech
just
denied
you
it.
how were you able to see a dildo on a blurry ring camera? Because those are not, like,
So
did you
honestly,
zoom, was there a zoomed in?
I couldn't see it, but
So
we were able to.
you didn't make out the dildo.
No, no, no. But we could tell by the way because he was checking each box as he got to the car, and the way he just shut it, closed it, put it in the bag, we knew exactly that was the box, because we knew the shit he got up to, right? He is a fucking, bottom bitch but aggressive abuser at the same time. And so we
Jesus
know all that
Christ.
shit, but
Well, no, how did
um,
you? He was your guys' bottom bitch, or you knew it from prior experience with him, or
No,
from his
no. One thing you
relationship?
can check with any of the boys is whenever Tech was in that server, I was not active. I've always sort of stayed away. So, like FCC, you would know back in the old server as well,
Oh,
I
okay, yeah,
wasn't
it's
very
good.
active.
Yeah,
It's
you were
just
not. You
if
were not.
Tech
You
is.
were not. You were not.
I only became active in the boys once Tech got ousted and I felt comfortable with the people there. Whilst Tech was there, I was very if someone asked me or something, I would respond, but I was never forthcoming. I was never dropping shit, I was just
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
I've
that's true.
hated
I mean,
Tech
I
from
think the same goes
Tech.
with. There was a time where when both Ray and Tech were in there, and it was like I think a lot of doxes came out of that time where people were just like talking about their shit, and all of a sudden, oh, somebody gets doxed, like what the fuck,
yeah. So to be clear, you never actually saw anal plug or dildo, or was it? Yeah,
Oh,
the
Well, I've
device.
seen
You
I've
never you
seen
never you never
pictures.
actually saw the
The purple
device
Punisher did.
being carried around.
No, I didn't see that carried around. I just
Device.
seen pictures of his belongings, the mess he made, the cigarette butts, the punch in the hole in the wall that he made, and shit like that. So we knew that they were his possessions, and then we also knew he was coming to collect shit. It was just us taking the piss and having a laugh, really. It wasn't really Purple Punisher wasn't the focus of us watching that. Even watching the CCTV wasn't even the focus of the day. It was just we were chatting, the property owner was like, oh, he's coming to collect it. We can watch it, so we just watched it whilst we were talking about other shit, really. So it was
Sure.
just, it's just like when you're in a voice chat and people bring up different streams and stuff, it's just something you have there visual whilst you're chatting. That was all it was, really.
Right. I just think it's a community first to have people watching security camera footage of another community member go around the house with the mother collecting belongings. That is a first, though. That is not a normal
Well,
daily voice chat.
it's more so we were watching a friend's house,
Okay.
and
You were
and
house sitting a friend who was also watching. Who was also
well,
watching.
no. When an abuser comes to collect their things, anything can happen, right? And he,
Sure,
by
but
the
I
paper,
don't know what Tommy Boy can do in Europe watching someone go around collecting his belongings if there's an incident. What
who
could
said
he
Tommy
do?
Boy was watching?
I did.
Okay, then you can go ask him if he was watching and why. Then
I would love to. I would absolutely love to, and I'm sure I won't get a straight answer with him, as with everything he
He could call
hides.
the
so
local
and
authorities. He could call the local
Sam,
authorities, right?
Sam. So do you think I've been
Indeed.
quite generous where I've let you not just ask that one question, but more
You've been
continuing questions?
you've been more
I've
than
been very
generous.
accommodating. Yeah.
Absolutely, you have been
So
accommodating.
can you
Go ahead.
explain
Go
to me
ahead.
why this is an issue from someone who thought it's a smart idea to broadcast publicly a court
A
that
public hearing, a public court case, yes.
yet that you click on a acknowledgement that it's not meant to be rebroadcasted. So you acknowledge and then go
I can't
against it.
I won't concede that. I think that there now I understand there are signs everywhere, but I'm not sure at the time I had to click on anything that said do not rebroadcast this. But Ryan was very vigilant and he notified the court immediately of the incident. And I guess it was investigated, and I have been subsequently cleared of any wrongdoing. So I'm
But
not sure what to tell you.
your excuse is like going 100 miles an hour in a 60-mile zone and saying, well, I just didn't see the street sign, so that's fine.
Well, no, I mean,
Like, there's a level of common sense.
I'm saying, people reported to authorities. Tommy raced out and presented to the people my
But
information,
reporting to authorities
and
is irrelevant, though.
I was cleared yet again. I was cleared of wrongdoing, just like with my DUI, cleared completely, exonerated.
But it is because you cut it quick and things. Like, it is still something that's not permitted if you, right? And you acknowledge that now there is signs or something there
Well,
that you're not
yeah,
meant to.
yes, but maybe also I'm a crusader in trying to change the
Could
law
it be that
so
you were
that
so excited that there's something about Tommy, so I need to do this, and you didn't see what's right in front of your eyes?
Well, look, it was a public hearing, and I am all about transparency in government. And as I
Mm,
travel around trying to get public records and present
mm.
them to, the community and others, paying for them, it is a struggle to open up government so that people can check under the hood. And I am glad to be a martyr for that cause. But anyway,
Hey
Okay,
Zelda,
I would like to say,
I've got a
Zelda,
question for Sam.
uh,
I've got a question for
Zelda. Before
Sam.
you go, no, listen,
here we
Oh
go.
FCC.
not this
Good.
I have
guy.
a
Hold
quick.
on, hold
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
hold
I
yeah.
on,
know. I have a
Tommy
quick.
boy.
I'm only
No,
going to
you
be up here for a
Now
can't
I
second.
can
come in
have
here
I'm only
with
going
your
to be up
white
here for a
answers to my
privilege
second.
questions.
I'm
and
only going to be up
demand
here
that
He's
we
for a
give you the
second.
wearing
attention
his
right
FCC.
away.
underwear and
FCC.
his
I'm
Jesus
only going to be up
baby
here
Christ,
for a
dude.
clothes.
This is what he
second.
always does,
Okay.
dude.
Okay. Please, just one
Fuck,
second. I
dude.
have a public
Have some
service announcement
respect,
to make.
bro.
I have a public
Yeah.
service announcement to make. Jeff
What
did out
baby
me, and
clothes?
Sam is up here now. Sam has also outed me. The FBI just contacted me. I do, in fact, have direct access to multiple community members' CCT sources within their homes. Um, it's true, okay, and
And
one
you're
of which
watching him with
being
your baby
Zelda.
clothes on.
And let me say that Zelda has quite the sword. It's not the purple Punisher, but it's the magenta Punisher, and it's about twice the size of fucking Tex. And Zelda, that's coming out this week, pal. All right, if
Well,
I'm going down,
hey, I
you're
mean,
going down.
oh, another TBS exposure video of Sam that will fail and fall flat on his face, like the National Enquirer story, right?
Sam, I've got a question for you. Where can you point us in the direction of the source that you relied on when you claimed that Anthony Cruz was involved in an incestuous relationship with his minor sister. Where did that come from?
The I don't recall now. This is so long ago, but
It was like 6 months ago.
it was lengthy. But
Trump was still president, so you remember it.
yeah, and inflation and beef prices were supposed to be down 30%, and they're up 12.
Yeah. So where did that
But
come from?
I don't know, but it was said numerous times by a number of people, and it clearly bothered Cruz enough for me to repeat it.
So Ryan has claimed that CPP may be involved in some way, shape, or form involved in inappropriate activities, right? And everybody's lost their shit over that. But you and Tommy claimed that a well-known and respected member of his community was basically banging out his minor sister. Show me the difference.
A well-known, respected member of the community, someone who was one of your good friends that you all had a falling out. Now you guys fight all the time.
I'm asking you a question.
And the circumstances of that, there was trading of, what is it, sextortion stuff that you fell out from your friendship with him. Look,
No, I'm not claiming to be friends or not friends with Anthony Cruz, but I'm just saying, like, claiming that somebody is in an incestuous relationship with their minor sister is pretty fucking serious, dude.
Okay, I'm not sure that was the context of when I repeated sister fucker.
That's what you said.
I said sister fucker, and I laughed.
You were on a cat. You were on a cat.
Yeah,
with Tommy,
and I
you
repeated,
said he was
and all
fucking
I
his
said
minor
was,
sister.
I know.
Yeah.
I said, oh, Anthony Cruz, the sister fucker. I didn't say if she was a minor or not, and didn't provide any more context to it. Could have been adult.
Okay, so I guess incest is fair game, right?
Could have been two minors.
Yeah,
and he never denied it. So hey, I don't know.
Okay.
Prove, just like you were just screaming.
Will we
just
be
like
getting
you were
a
screaming
dark
about
underbelly special on this?
Prove it wrong, just like you were just trying to do with the West Virginia ladies. Prove
I think it's up.
wrong.
I think that's up to Anthony Cruz to prove that he was not banging out his minor sister.
And has he done it sufficiently? I don't know. But let's get to the biggest. The biggest thing is that what you all were talking about earlier. Seriously, is yes.
Thanks for not answering my question.
I don't just cover female predators. I also discuss male victims, and I think that when men are sexually assaulted by another man or a woman, it's viewed as just go along, and it's all a big joke. And I gave the example of being flashed. If a man pulls out his genitals in front of a woman, she's very much empowered to call the man out, call the police, report it, serve as a victim, spend 3 years in court over it. And she's very adamant about it. And that's great. We want to have victims being empowered. I have yet to see a police report in which a man has come forward and says a woman flashed her boobs, a woman flashed her genitals at me, or a woman groped me and grabbed me, and I want to file a police report. It was illegal. And so, because it's supposed to be sort of funny, and a man will be mocked for it. And we see this is what's happening with Ryan. And I'm very, I'm happy that Ryan was able to talk about what happened to him to a degree. And I think that whether it's boys or men, whether it's woman predators or male predators, the fact that someone can come forward and say something that he knowingly is doing it when he's going to be mocked is to be commended. And everything else happening with Ryan aside, in all of this, he said something that people laugh about and shame people for. And you can see that's what they're doing there. And I don't think it's funny if a man is sexually assaulted. And it is sexual assault when someone makes an advance on you and, grabs your genitals, flashes you, And it's just expected that men should accept that type of behavior. And I'm sorry that I'm a buzzkill, but I'm calling out it is a crime.
No,
And
you're not a buzzkill, dude. We all agree on that shit for
whether
sure.
whether you like the fact that people want to say I got comments, and I'm getting to get a video together now. People like to say, oh, I didn't feel like a victim. I see this a lot from boys who become men when they were sexually abused as children.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like a victim.
Yep.
And I loved it. Well, I got
Yeah.
news for them. I got news for them. You don't get to determine if you're a victim or not. It's the law that determines victimhood, not the individual. And if you
Yeah.
want to change the law to determine that boys can legally have sex with adult women because you don't want to be a victim or you don't feel like a victim, the fact of your feelings that it wasn't victimhood doesn't negate the fact that a
Yeah.
crime was committed against you. The law says you're a victim, and the person that committed it is a
Yeah.
criminal. So I really am trying to. One of the most difficult things that I've got to navigate is a cluster of boys and men that are laughing and bragging about their abuse, and they refuse to accept the
Well,
fact that
I
the
mean,
law says that they're
we,
victims, but they don't have the, do I call it courage? Do I call it bravery? What do I call it, and how do I handle it? And that is the biggest struggle I'm
yeah.
having right now.
And we've
Could
talked about, I talked about that earlier, where we
I
have people
expand
in
on
this
that?
community that have done that exact same thing that Sam is talking about. They boasted about it. Like, yeah, when I was in high school, one of my teachers came on to me and like, I was like the cool kid, right? We have well-known people in this community that have boasted about, having, being sexually assaulted by adult women when they were minors. Like it's a rite of passage, and it's absolutely not. It's fucking this. It's the same thing. It's like, you imagine if you were like a female member of this community boasting about getting sexually assaulted by a male teacher when you were in high school.
I always come back to that. And
I
Ryan,
mean,
go ahead.
come
I
on,
guess
dude. Come on.
you wanted to say
Yeah.
something, Ryan, but
Sorry.
Yeah. Is my audio clear? By the way, I'm in my parking lot, so I just don't have a history of it
Very
not being
clear.
good.
You
Okay.
sound good.
Very good.
So yeah, kind of just like on the male on male sexual assault. This is something. This is kind of like an extension of it, but kind of just like what's wrong with society is, it does not. Society does not benefit from men bottling up experiences like that, because if like they will, like when they're violated in that kind of way and there's like no, like kind of like nothing done about it or whatever, like they couldn't, like they didn't know what's going on enough to like fight back, they might do something terrible after in a violent way. And
right.
like you kind of wonder
Yeah.
why, like, hey, there's like this like, I can't believe that person did that, like this person maybe did like a shooting or something, or just like one day this person just snapped. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta kind of wonder why things
Yeah.
like that happened.
100%. And I even forced that upon, I did a video on my channel, and it doesn't get asked often, but it
I have the money
occasionally
in your
comes
channel.
up.
Here we go.
And if you ask some of these male predators, when was there, some of them, when asked, which they rarely are, and it's the only, one of the only questions I ask them when I have an opportunity to interview predators, which is, hey, were you molested as a kid? And many of them, at least the four that I covered in my video, was they didn't see there was anything wrong with it, and
Yeah.
they thought it was great. And so I do see, I don't know correlation versus causation, but I do see a connection between boys who were molested by women coming away with that experience with a laughing, joking positivity that society has shoved down their throat and
Yeah.
becoming men and turning themselves into the predator. Because if you're a
No,
14-year-old that
come on.
fucks a 30-year-old, at some point you're going to be 30 years old too. And you're going to start looking at
Yeah.
14-year-olds and
Yeah.
saying, well, wait a minute, society, I've told myself for 20 years it was good for
Yeah.
me. So why shouldn't
Oh,
I effectuate the same type of abuse
Yeah.
on someone else?
well,
Even if they don't
that's not
realize it,
exactly.
it warps and it skews
That's the.
their reality, right?
Well, that
And they don't
wasn't
even
a.
know.
Well, that wasn't exactly where it was going. I was kind of talking about uh, not like it just being in a warped way. I mean, like if something like that, I'm kind of just talking about kind of in the scope of like, you know, um, I guess male on male or whatever. I just can't speak to the other experiences just because I
Mhm.
don't have that or whatever. But I'm talking about like snapping in a violent way.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I
Yeah.
think,
Yep.
I would like to
Sam
go.
Sam
Yeah.
Sam highlighted something. Every now and then, Sam and I will have a civil conversation on a panel, and we can actually like talk to each other as human beings, unlike tonight. But a few months ago, he and I were talking, and I was working to promote his channel, which has since blown up. So thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Thank
Um,
you.
but he told me something that I just had never really thought about, like being a male victim, with a male, and the perpetrator is a male too. It's like the double whammy of having to like, tell your story is that not only like are you now the victim of a sexual assault, but also the label of like, you're also like now you're gay, and I never thought of that in that way before.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, we talked about it, Sam. I was just like, man, yeah,
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
it
I'm actually
probably keeps
looking.
so many people, so many victims from like speaking up because of the peer social pressures of you know telling their stories, which is really fucked up.
Yeah, it is, and it is the peer stuff. Like even maybe the adults
Yeah.
can get through it. There was a famous case that I'm not a famous case, but a well-known case here in Florida, and it was in Daytona Beach. A prominent hotel guy, total scumbag, named Dennis Devlin, and I've tracked back a lot of the court records, and one of the documents that I got a hold of was the psychiatric report of it's a 13-year-old boy. He had decades of accusations against him, but the 13-year-old victim was sexually abused by this. He was producing child pornography, and he had a younger man helping him bring younger boys to him. But
Yeah.
one of the psychiatric reports that reported on this victim's state was the fact that he was basically kicked out of school because of the relentless assaults on who he was,
Yeah. Yeah.
calling him a faggot and queer
Yes.
because he was abused by this. And so, forget even the adult pressure and the adult shame and all of that that comes with it. How about the peer pressure within the schools? And we see that
Yeah.
we see it very much so.
Terrible, dude.
People think that they're going around the school high fiving when a woman sexually abuses boys. Not,
Mm-hmm.
not in the hundreds of cases I've reviewed. Very rarely see the high fives. I see a canceled hockey season. Two hockey players were sexually
Yeah.
assaulted by a mom at a hotel in Minnesota. They were suspended, the boys were, the victims were, and the entire hockey season was canceled because of it. There weren't no high fives, and the kids were blamed for all of it. So I see too much of the real, the projection, the stepmom porn, and the bullshit that's promoted by Hollywood and all the perverts in the society that promotes this versus the reality that I see on the back end of actually digging into court records. Kids are called faggots and queer. Seasons are canceled. The dad comes in seeing his wife fucking the stepson of the wife, and he pulls out a belt to beat his son, not to step up and be a
Yeah.
father. So anyway,
Yeah.
it,
that's the kind
I
of
guess,
shit that I see.
Yeah, and
yeah, I guess,
it's probably, and go ahead, Ryan.
well, yeah, I mean, I guess like where I was kind of going with that is like, you know, I think, I mean, masculinity has like a role in society. It's not like it should be necessarily a race or whatever. Like it does have a role, um,
Sure.
by men or whatever. But a lot of people kind of think that like things like that being accepted somehow undermines that. But I'll just say that society does not benefit from uh men bottling stuff up like that. So I think
Yeah, dude.
because
Yeah.
What?
because beyond that, like it's not even just like the like gay thing, 'cause obviously it's not like they're gay or whatever, like they're straight
Right.
and then something happened to them and they were, you know, violated in a way that they didn't even understand at the time. Just one day they could just like it would be like maybe they didn't do anything before, but they could just snap one day and a lot of people get
Yeah.
hurt,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And you'll
And
be like that one person, you'll be like, oh, I couldn't even see that person doing that. That person just like,
they just go
I don't
crazy.
know, shut
Yeah.
up a movie theater or something. And that
And I
society
think
doesn't benefit.
your point is well taken, because I think what you're actually talking about is, so now like the bigger, broader topic is really like redefining what masculinity is, right? In society, at least in American society, because it's so defined as a particular thing. And a big part of like masculinity is like being tough and like holding shit in and dealing with shit. And sure, there's a time and a place for that, but when it comes to like very like traumatic experiences, whether you're a man or a woman, or identify as some other gender, like that, some shit you just can't hold in, and you shouldn't have to hold it in. And you should talk about it with people and get help and get therapy, and so I
Yeah,
think that's the
it's kind of
double-edged
like
sword. It's really about a broader issue with how we define masculinity. Because there's nothing masculine about like holding in trauma. There's really nothing masculine about that, but society defines masculinity as like, yeah, hold the shit in, boy, just be tough.
yeah, and especially like I mean, it's kind of one thing like let's say I don't know, I mean, like you get beat up or whatever. That's like maybe another situation, but if it isn't that certain way, and it's followed up like that, um, like I guess just evolving maybe to the point of understanding what happens, like you know, like in the situation or whatever, like when you have a tonic immobility or something like that. Um, it's it's like that's kind of what it is. Is you will be angry about it. You know,
Sure.
it won't be something they want. In fact, they'll uh they'll have some pretty violent thoughts in their head. I'll just say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I mean, it starts with it starts with my issue is, and this is something that I've previously struggled with, is you guys are talking about how people deal with trauma and everything, but if Ryan, in your position, you're saying that you now understand what had happened to you, and that you're dealing with that and you're working through it. But again, so many boys become men and they are still of the opinion that what happened to them was positive, what happened to them, they were not victims. And so you're dealing with an extra element of, problems in which the law determines victimhood. And, I give this example a lot when I engage in different discussions and talk with people is if you know that someone got their purse stolen from them and you witnessed it, or they got carjacked and they stolen right from there, you either witness it or they tell you about it later. Hey, I got my car carjacked, but I'm not a victim. The experience helped me understand what impoverished people go through, and or people of a life of crime and whatever. And so maybe that person needed it. But I don't feel like a victim. It actually, what I went through was positive. So how do you handle that?
Yeah.
The person doesn't get to determine. The law says, you're a victim. And so
Yeah.
am I supposed to am I harming you by saying, and then you come back and I come back and say, well, hey, you were a victim of a crime. I think you should go report it. It's a very
Yeah.
serious crime. That person could go hurt other people. That person could manipulate it. Well, why are you trying to make what I think is positive, and why are you trying to turn me into a victim? No, I'm trying to tell you that the law, I don't do anything. The law states that you're a victim. I didn't do anything. I'm just conveying to you what the
Yeah.
law
Or
states.
or
So,
people are concerned about like retribution in some way, shape, or form, right?
yeah.
Like some kind of I want to call out 111 in chat. Red alert! Hitting the red button. We have Whitticus in chat. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you can turn someone into sociopath with a technique used by the agency.
And I
Yeah,
wanted to
no, I mean,
respond.
oh, yeah, go on.
Well, I wanted to spend real quick to Buzz Lightyear. Buzz, actually, the name of Anthony Cumia's female predator that he was laughing about. Buzz, you made a statement earlier about the pregnancies and the dangerousness of this. The other element to the male side of things is the fact that, girls that are sexually abused and become pregnant are able to have options. The family is able to have options. Well, if a adult female, molests a boy, the boy has no options in what happens to, and the family of the child of the victim has no options. If an adult woman sexually abuses a boy, I've reported on this on my channel. The woman in many cases chooses to have the baby. The child victim doesn't get to determine what happens at that point. Like men don't get to determine what happens if a woman is impregnated from resulting in their sexual encounter, whatever. So
That's crazy. That's
the
wild.
added element of all of this is American society that loves to supposedly hates predators and loves to protect kids is not only shaming a boy and laughing and joking about being molested by a woman, but now he's hit with an 18-year bill for child support, being a victim of sexual abuse
That's
himself.
fucking wild, dude.
And that is the law in every state.
Yeah.
That's the law. That's America. And so when people
Yeah.
when people do all of it, and I don't see many JD DeLay or Jordan Peterson, all the manosphere, not one of them really is talking about
Yeah.
these real issues. And if there's
Yeah.
like, if I want to be a part of the manosphere, if I want to go and represent, and help empower men, one thing I would look at is going and changing state laws so that victims of sexual abuse don't have to pay for the product of their abuse or the result of the abuse that they sustain, because the pedophile predator want the result of the abuse, that a child should not have to pay child support after they
Yeah.
were molested. And I don't hear anyone talking about that.
the manosphere of toxic masculinity, right? When people talk about like toxic masculinity, they're like, "What does that mean? What does that mean?" And I'm like, this is a side effect of it. This is how it works its way into like these situations, and in the law and people's like perception of the law. Like in a perfect world, like sexual abuse of children would be viewed equally, whether it was man on man, woman on man on woman, whatever. And it's
Yeah.
not. It's just not, dude. It's not, and that's
and,
really
and
fucked
and it's
up.
a different it's like the age of the consent laws missed boys, right? No one ever has said, well, the girl enjoyed it, and so the age of consent laws, and the consent says they have taken away the ability of a child to agree to a sexual encounter with an adult. But it never, but I don't know why all of those laws get completely turned on thing. Hundreds, thousands of comments into my videos are, well, I liked it, send her over my way. I'll take that predator if I was 12 or 13. Why is it that, wait a minute, children can't consent to sex? So regardless of what the child thinks, it's a crime and you're a victim. So again, if you really want to talk tough, go on your own campaign to try to legalize sex between kids and adults, but don't try to have your moral projection cake and eat it too, right? And go and advocate for that if that's your position, that you think that a certain type of sexual that some children in certain circumstances with the certain predators and pedophiles, that you should remove the barriers of age of consent because you're saying that this boy wanted this. So go legalize it then and campaign on it. But don't try to act like
Hmm.
you're on some moral high ground in some circumstances, but you completely let the barrier and think it's a joke in others. That's what I don't like. So
Are you done with your soapbox, Sam?
I'm done. I'm done. And
Okay.
Ryan, if I need
We've
to,
got Barb in chat. Barb is in chat. We've got Barb in chat.
Yeah, I just got home.
Barb's in chat.
Hell yeah, dude.
Only Red Hood would bring in a Star Wars reference. And
So wait, that has to be a fake account, is it?
Is Red Hood in chat? He must have me blocked. I can't see him.
And the new Predator movie was terrible. But anyway, I wouldn't expect a Gen Z to try to get into the nuance of CGI bullshit crap writing from other Gen Z writers. But anyway, that's all. Uh, anyway,
You guys hear me?
what?
Test. Hello.
Yeah, I just saying the new Predator movie that Red Hood was promoting was terrible.
Oh, I
Can
don't.
you hear me?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't follow. Yeah, I hear you.
All right.
Yeah, I don't follow any Reddit stuff.
No, it had nothing to do with Red Hood, but Red Hood was uh yeah, your buddy that you were on a private stream listening to my call with with Cam. Yeah, that guy, that Ed movie, Red
So
Hood.
Sam, I have a
Anyway,
question for you.
yeah, never
Kind of
ceases to amazing.
bringing it back to
When you
the
were on that
social here.
call with PHI, your friend
Sam,
Ben too.
what is your take on the big Damone flip flop where we know that this guy has been dragging CPP West Virginia for years because they're actively working to you know, get off of opioids, and part of that means like medically prescribed methadone, right? It's a normal thing. There's no shame in that. He's actively worked to shame them, just for the mere fact that they're trying to get off of drugs, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I applaud them in that. I wish them well in their sobriety. But then, Damone feels like now it's appropriate to call out Ryan because he may have said something that was like out of context about them, right?
I didn't see where Damone called that. I get in trouble anytime I start talking about Damone. brings me trouble. So you like to do that. So what? Well, I didn't hear what Damone said about what Ryan said.
He didn't do shit. He just does what he normally does. He just like reposts people's shit, you know. So
Yeah.
he just posted a video of Ryan suggesting that
But,
CPP West Virginia may be aligned with some kind of like
Yeah, actually,
different
yeah,
types of
I'll
activities. You
say
can
it.
say it.
I'll
Say it,
say it.
Ryan.
Yeah. So I'll just
With
say
your
this.
chest. Yeah.
Based on just their behavior alone, right? Being creepy as fuck. Sounds like someone on the registry would behave.
Well, what do you mean they're creepy as fuck? Number one, and
That's
being
what I
creepy.
mean.
There are a
Here's what I
lot
mean.
of
Here's what
there's
I,
a lot
yeah.
of
Here's
creeps
what I
in the
mean.
world
Yeah.
that are not fit to be on the registry. They're just creeps.
Yeah. Here's what I mean. Yeah, like laughing at sexual assault. Yeah, that's creepy. And I kind of would wonder if that poorly reflects on CP as a whole.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly that. And I do think it's deserved. Like I
Well, I
didn't
think
go on
it's
and say
a
that they are,
if
but
indeed they were laughing. I'm not sure when and where and how they were laughing. If this was in chat,
in
but
chat, in
yeah,
chat.
right.
Yep, they were laughing.
I understand.
They were encouraging. They were laughing. The two men of CPP West, women of CPP West Virginia were they were encouraging this conversation, and it goes back to where we started. Like they were encouraging the shaming of Ryan because he was quote unquote an adult that claims to have been sexually assaulted, right? And it's
Which
like,
is
oh, you
again,
can't,
it is
you can't be.
incredibly,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you get it, dude. You get it. You get
No,
it.
no, no. I do. Their reaction was wrong, but I don't think
Yeah,
it's. Oh, I don't think it's. Ryan, for you to move to the next 7 steps, going from 0 to 100. Their reaction
Why
was
not?
wrong. Their
is it
reaction
that
was
different
based
to
on the
saying
fact that.
Anthony fucks his sister, though? It's kind of in the same lineage, isn't
Well, I
it?
mean, again,
that's true. That's
being
true.
a troll and getting under the skin of another big troll, a big fat troll, then that's the name of the game around here. And then to go back and when can one joke here and when one can't joke, and who gets to joke, right? And who gets to be comedians and who doesn't get to get comedians? Who gets a pass and who doesn't get a pass? So you guys want to try to go to the extreme. It was wrong for them to laugh at your abuse, Ryan. Okay, it's wrong for anyone to do that. And
Nah, because the thing is
but
this
for
though.
you to but for you to take it beyond that out of anger and spite is wrong in my opinion as well. So
So,
I don't
Sam,
feel
I
bad.
agree
it's
with
not
you,
deserved.
with the
I don't feel bad.
exception that just recently, CPPWV endorsed Kevin to say that about his niece and nephews, right? For them to get abused and stuff. So, if CPPWV thinks it's okay for Kev to react on someone using their abuse story against them with disgusting comebacks, then
Yeah,
although I don't agree with Ryan, what he said, I do also feel that you've got to keep the rules the same. And so what Ryan did is fair because CPPWV follows that principle when she was supporting Kev. So, it's one
yeah,
of the same,
yeah. I mean,
unfortunately.
I wish both of them well in their drug recovery, but they need to stay out of the drama. And if they don't want to stay out of the drama, then they should not act surprised when it comes to their doorstep. Period.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
CC,
that's
can I
kind of a
just
fair
ask, when
comment
you were
too. Yeah,
bringing
that's good.
up this
They're
Damone
filthy.
video, were you insinuating it was like revenge for what Ryan did to Missy, or was that what you're insinuating that video was?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm asking FCC because he brought up Damone's video.
What was that again? Sorry.
When you brought up Damone's video to Sam, were you insinuating that it was kind of like retribution for Ryan going at Missy last night or the night before?
Damone's video of what?
the one that you just mentioned of Ryan, where you were saying it's a bit weird that Damone's now backing CPPWV
Yeah, no,
against Ryan.
I think it's highly hypocritical for Damone to be, now trying to claim that he's protecting CPPWV after he's actively attacked them for years on end about their use of methadone, which is a drug that's many people use that have been afflicted with, the addiction of opioids, which is a very serious thing, especially in West Virginia, right? It was like
Yeah,
that was like one of the epicenters of the Sackler family's campaign against American citizens. And so we can go on and on about that, but that was basically my comment.
Yeah,
yeah,
blame
and I would
blame
just
the
say,
Sacklers
well,
and
actually,
not individual
I'm just gonna keep
responsibility of
talking.
the
I'm just gonna keep
doctors.
talking. One. So yeah, all right. So my thing is this. I just don't feel bad at all because even what I said wasn't even like saying they're on the registry and they actually did something. I said that if someone is demonstrating creepy and deviant weirdo behavior, I said that's like someone who is on the registry behaves, and I don't feel a shred bad about that at all. I'll mute Sam.
Yeah, yeah. You said what you said,
Well,
man. Yeah,
you say what you say, and I mean, people can disagree with you, people can agree with you, people can have their opinions about it.
yeah,
Uh, I think that people, Ryan, from my perspective, you're kind of new at this game of being putting yourself forward as a victim of abuse. I can tell you, for most of my life, it's been a challenge. And unfortunately, men have to get used to being mocked and being laughed at, even if you're very young when your abuse took place. And that's the sad reality of the world that we live in. And so, like I said, Godspeed to you with revealing this. And it's why most male victims don't. And it's why many of them try to hide in plain sight by laughing about it, because down deep I know that all the people that I've talked to and all the people that have tried to say that it was good for them, down deep I know that it's affected them very, very profoundly in a difficult way that's made their life path difficult. And so even when people mock me and people laugh at me and say stuff to me because I've been prominent in my own situation, now you are faced with the same. I challenge them to be better people, and I don't wish them, you know, a situation where I'm going to say that they're predators or they're exhibiting predatory behavior. I think people are very uncomfortable with male victimhood. They're very uncomfortable with it, and the biggest people that are most uncomfortable with it are men themselves, because men are
hmm
very insecure, and they are full of shame, and they just don't know how to handle that in the age of trying to be tough guys. And it's a sad place where we're at, something I've tried to fight against, but
yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
you know
That
I
I mean
agree.
that's kind of what I was getting to with my comments earlier about the just the general like state of like the culture of masculinity in 2025, right? And it's not just 2025. It's it's the general culture of masculinity in this country, and how flawed it is, and this is like one component of it where it shows itself, and it's uh, how flawed it is, where men, are not able to like speak out on something that has really caused harm to them for fear of being chastised or whatever, by exact peers and parents and community members, whatever. It's tragic, It's not like It's it's something that we can fix. It's not anything that was made by God. So
But I think as the years go on, obviously there's a lot of work to do, but like you would hope that things are getting better. Like if Carl Malone was to get that kid pregnant today, you would think he would get locked up in jail. But, back when he was playing like 30 years ago or something, like he obviously had a minor pregnant.
fuck, dude.
She
Shout out
had a
Utah
kid,
Jazz. Damn.
she had a kid, but he never got locked up. He had a successful career afterwards, like, so you sort of hope that the world is evolving in the right direction. But yeah, the awareness needs to be out there because, where Ryan touches on it, like any trauma, if you bottle it up, that's kind of when people lose the plot, right? You need to kind of digest your trauma, get over it, sort of, and that sort of takes communication. So letting it out of you, processing it as you talk about it, and things like that. So, yeah, there's long ways to go, but you hope it's getting better.
And people give, wrongly, they don't prepare victims for the reality. Everybody allegedly hates predators and pedophiles, and we hear about all these prison stories that Viking Mind and others tell us about how predators get stabbed and Jared Fogle got beat up. And so people have this perception that everybody hates predators and pedophiles, and the world will welcome me with open arms as a victim, and that they will support me in my journey against someone that hurt me. And that's just not the truth. The truth is much more complicated and much more nuanced than that reality that people have been forced through their own moral projection and self-righteous fakery and hypocrisy. The reality is, I've worked with a few victims in which we've gone out and confronted their abusers, and it's very rewarding for me. Done it now. We're at number 8, and I just and it's this is more than a year. It's been about 18 months. I've done 8 in 18 months, and one of the biggest things that is difficult is, in addition to, we see family members circulate. We did one in a biker bar at their annual fundraiser. And, the victim had come back after that event, and we did sort of a after action. She confronted her stepfather, and she goes, with somewhat of tears, she was joyful that she got to confront her stepfather, who had abused her for more than a decade, starting when she was 5. But one of her biggest lookbacks was the fact that the group at the biker bars, bikers, they hate Preds. The 1%ers are going to fuck them up. And the way they rallied behind their own, and they wouldn't accept her story, and we had to sort of flee out of there. There was hundreds of bikers here, and we were doing this confrontation inside of this place, and we were basically chased out.
Were they
And
non-unites?
well, the wife, I had a little mini confrontation with the wife of this guy, and she was screaming at me that all girls go through that shit, basically, in justification for.
Yeah.
That's what she said. That was her. We were accusing her husband of abusing a girl, and her reaction was that. And so when I talk about this, it's not an easy journey for any victim.
You you
And so when I talk about boys, yes, I think there's unique challenges for boys that come forward, very unique and very difficult and mind fucking. But for girls, there's a similar sort of journey for sure. In that, these 1%ers ain't trusting that, ain't protecting that little girl, right? Like they project on the media, and how everybody's gonna rally around against the Pred, and we're gonna fuck. She said, I thought they were gonna throw him out that night, and he was gonna, I had the dreams of when we did this that he was driving off, being chased, and it was we that were chased, and I had to prepare her for this, that you're not going to get the reaction that you think by by people, because people are fallen and they're not going to give you the satisfaction that you want. So be prepared for
You
that. And she was. So
you mentioned several like reasons why people don't come forward, or why people don't consider certain types of essay involving minors as a serious thing, right? um Different like cultural reasons, this and that, whatever, um gender. But what I didn't hear you say, and what I think is a big part of it too, is that sometimes people just don't know. Like Ryan didn't know. A lot of people just don't know. And it's like, if you're a
Yeah.
young person, or if you're an adult, or if something happens to you, like, you just don't know. And there shouldn't be any like any blame or excuse kind of like cast on that. It's just like, you just don't know. And it could also be a cultural thing where it's just like not talked about. But still, it's the same thing. It's like, people just don't know that this is a thing, and they also don't know that if it happens, they can speak on it, right? Whether it's like happens to be across genders or cultures. So I think there's a lot of work to be done. I'm trying to think of this as like the glass half full concept. A lot of work to be done around like educating, communities, different cultures, for sure, and also like, like, young boys, right? A lot of educational work that can be done to, you know, bring this
But
to the forefront. So,
like, I think the world takes stages, right? You think about the corporate world 10 years ago, there was so much focus on harassment, workplace harassment, sexual harassment. There was so much education about it, you know. Depending on industries, anti-money laundering became a phase. And so I feel like, and then, it takes certain phases for things to kick in. And so it probably is a case of waiting for that right big case for it to kind of turn heads. And then
yeah,
that momentum will, make changes, right?
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
it is
But
something
let's
where
also, I mean, let's also be
education.
honest. Like, that whole wave of like sexual harassment, training and litigation was, mainly focused on like men harassing women, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Not to say that like, women weren't harassing men, or men were not harassing men in the workplace, but like
But that
yeah,
has evolved, like where most corporations now have mandatory training about
yep,
harassment based on gender, sexuality,
yeah,
race, so it has evolved. And so, and there's a lot more even in the tertiary education and things about that sort of thing.
yeah.
So,
I would hope so.
I
Yeah,
do, yeah, I do feel like, it just really takes that one big case to take one country by storm, and then people talk about it and it becomes a focus. But for some reason, when it's to do with child sex crimes, I think, it makes people uncomfortable. They don't want to talk about it too much.
yeah.
And so, and I think that's where the delay tends to happen. But yeah, it is something that needs to be talked about more for sure.
Yeah.
well,
I
anyway,
kind
you
of.
all have a good night. I just remembered I forgot to turn my cameras off in my house for the night, and I feel like someone's watching me from afar. So
We can
We,
turn them on remotely,
on
but
a
we
Sam.
don't
So
live
don't worry
live
use,
about it.
stream, and you
but we
guys are
don't use
watching
your
me with
cameras.
specificity of all my dildos that
We
I've
just
got all around this
No, but
house
we
we
just turned them
installed
in a
our own
box.
don't worry.
cameras. We have our own cameras in your place, Sam. We don't log into yours.
I'm sure. I mean, if Tommy Boy could figure that out, he absolutely would have them all installed, and they'd have all the boys watching them every night on live streams. Anyway, have a good night, guys. Talk to you
Sam.
soon.
Later, Sam.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, I think I'm
Let's
gonna drop
see.
too.
Me too.
It's late
Yeah,
out here for me,
you
but
didn't let Jeff in?
43.
I'm gonna
Oh.
let's let Joey cook. Joey's
Well,
up here. He
okay,
took what
actually, I'll say this. Maybe if Jeff does want to come up, I thought we had enough of turd energy, but we could go for round
Yeah, he
two.
was.
yeah, you
I'll
can
throw
do
the
that.
link
Yeah.
unless he's
Bring
passed
him
out
up.
drunk
Is he
already.
here?
Uh,
He's gone, dude.
yeah, yeah, he isn't backstage. I will
He
say
went
that.
live. He went
Oh,
live.
and live. Okay, so it's gonna be So it's gonna be the after show. The after show. Is he really live?
Yeah, he came up earlier
Yeah.
and he was very triggered. I don't know what happened with him. He came up and
Yeah.
got pretty he was very triggered. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, but pretty much, I mean, like, I don't know, like, with a lot of things, I mean, I don't know, I say and do, I'm not gonna say it's, like, necessarily the perfect and right thing, but I'll never mince words and have a reason for it, and I explain all my reasons, and that's what it. What is the title? I also have about the CPP thing. Hold on. Title.
Why are you? What the hell? Oh no, I think he was trying to write withholding evidence from the FBI. Huh?
Withholding. Why am I with? What the
He-
fuck?
because he wrote
Are you talking about me?
WTH holding, so I think he meant withholding. So why are you withholding evidence from the FBI?
What the fuck?
Why is who withholding? Is it like me? Is that what it's about? Or
Probably about
Hell, dude.
Shifty.
I actually, I mean,
Who knows what
I
he's
don't
talking
know.
about, man? Crazy.
Is there any probe into this life to determine what he is discussing or who is he accusing of withholding this information?
Well, I think he's just really butthurt that he kept saying that you're scared, and you still wouldn't let him up. I think that was the main thing. I think that's the reason why he went live, because he butthurt
Yeah, it wasn't
that you didn't.
scared, bro. It was tired. Like,
It's
it's
just
like
annoying, dude.
yeah.
It
like
couldn't be civil.
if anyone went on his panel and acted the way he does, he would kick him straight away, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
stupid. Like but anyways,
He
it
doesn't know
is
how
what
to.
it
Maybe
is.
He
just
doesn't know how to
coffee,
like.
okay.
He doesn't know how to act, dude. He's got no so I don't know. He's not a good Christian. I'll tell you that.
What
Nah.
is it with these Christians and some of these people who think that they can't do
Exactly.
wrong and they will all go to heaven? Like,
He hide
I don't
behind Christ.
understand. Like, yeah, like what makes them so sure? Like, because I went to a Christian school, but I wasn't Christian, right? So
Can you
like,
prove that they're wrong?
fuck off, FTP. But like, it always amazes me. You find certain Christians who are just confident they're going to heaven. They just can't do any wrong, and it's like,
Yeah.
what is it in that religion that makes them believe that? Like,
I don't think it's it could probably it's like any religion. It could be Buddhism, it could be Hindu, it could be Judaism or Islam, whatever. I think people they manipulate fucking religion. People manipulate it, and it can be any religion. It doesn't have
yeah, they
anything to
just
do with the fundamentals of the founding beliefs of a religion, but people hide behind that shit.
It's always a ridiculous concept because they say you can do whatever wrong and then you just get forgiven, they just go to heaven anyway, and it's just at a certain point, like how can you even filter out the good and the bad and that you're redeemable? Like what happened to like actual shame? And I mean, my thing is, I think shame can be a good thing. If you really did something bad and wrong, you got to reconcile that within yourself and not just tell some priest and that it's all forgiven and then you'll go to paradise when you die.
Yeah.
I always thought that was ridiculous. That's my opinion.
It should never be that. It should
true.
never be that easy. Never.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to address it. You need to reconcile, and you need to plan. And how are you going to plan to redeem yourself for your actions? But it's
Yeah.
not as easy as going and confessing your sins and being like, okay, I'm good. Whatever.
And then if you just get the
Yeah,
wrong god,
dude.
then you burn in eternity. Like, it makes zero sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a man of the cloth. I'm really.
Then people get,
We don't do religion.
use their religion to excuse their fucked up ways about themselves.
Exactly.
Is
yeah.
that
Exactly.
I believe
Like,
that.
I think really.
Oh,
go on.
yeah. I mean, my thing is, I do believe in spirituality, which is just like your consciousness standing with the universe. I think that's important,
exactly?
but that relies on like actual actual consequences. Like how are you going to live out the highest quality of consciousness, which is like the
Yeah.
best you can actually be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
We're all
look
spiritual
across all
beings.
the major religions, the ones that we recognize, and not just the modern ones, but even like indigenous religions, you can there's like a Venn diagram, and in the center there is a universal set of like morality that you could pull from every single fucking religion, modern, indigenous, Western, Eastern, whatever. I'm like, that's what matters, That's really what matters. I think that's like humanity. I think that's what you're talking about, Ryan.
TBLT
It's
in
not
control. I appreciate y'all.
Like,
tied
for
to like
me,
any particular religion.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the thing for me as well. I think religion, like having many different religions in the world, I think is kind of a good thing because different cultures, it probably helps, have the right nuances for different cultures and things like that. But, I myself am not very religious, but I feel like religion is a good way to give certain people basic principles. It's a good way for some people who are in need of hope to find a way to have hope. It tends to have more benefit in maybe struggling families and countries
Y'all
and
remember
things because
that
it
when
gives them a
Alex had
direction.
that creep allegation stuff
Oh,
Sorry, what?
To it.
during the
I can't like.
EBT?
Sorry,
Are
what?
you talking about in chat?
EDP.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I can't like. I just noticed on Streamer it isn't letting me delete it. I don't know if Mods can take care of that, or I don't know if it's on the Daniel Methsburg one,
Yeah.
but yeah. I can't really do anything about that right now. But like also, yeah. Also another thing is it's like when you are truly, engaging in like low level consciousness or stuff like that. I think that was actually what hell is, because like when you do wrong or you're not living altruistically, you don't feel good about yourself. But when you are kind of living the most impactful life you can, that's like a very high level of consciousness. I think that's kind of metaphorically. I mean, I think it's just like I think it's the possibility that religion's just a giant metaphor for spirituality and enlightenment. I think that's kind of what it is. Oh wow, this guy's really spamming. Hold on, I probably will have to figure this out.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I don't see what's going on. But it's getting late for me here, so I'm gonna drop off. Daniel Methsburg, it's been a pleasure chatting with you tonight. And Bick,
Yeah,
my
we get more cooking.
my Pakistani colleague. I hope all things are good in your neck of the woods. And Joey, good to meet you, brother.
Ern.
Take care, guys.
All
Have a
right,
good night.
thanks, FCC. Good chatting with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sort of hopping off as well. I wasn't planning to stay on this long. I originally came up for 5 to 10 minutes to annoy Tech a little, but yeah, I ended up staying. So thanks very much, Ryan.
Yeah. Have a good night.
You too. And hi, Joey, and bye.
Yeah. So, yeah, I will kind of say though, I'm not logged. I have an issue logging into my Daniel Methsburg account. The only reason I was able to go live on the Daniel Methsburg thing was because I have access to StreamYard. So I gotta actually. So if a mod can't take care of it, I will say I can't take care of it because I can't even log in the account unless I'm a mod. I don't even know if I'm a mod. Let me see if I'm actually shit. I might be a mod. Hold on. All right. Yeah, I don't see it actually. You don't need to be a mod. You already have the controls. So it wasn't going on the Daniel Messberg thing, I guess. What I'm saying is I can't log into the Daniel Messberg thing. I guess I got a new phone, so I got to figure it all out. But I'm not in. Like I can't log. I don't have access to the Daniel Messberg account. Like I'm not even logged in. So, yeah. I don't know if there's any final words, Joey, or I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll probably be enough slab. It's been 3.5 hours. I actually didn't think it would be going on this long. But to good night. And we'll probably get some we'll definitely get some good Jeff content tomorrow. When everyone wakes up. And Vic might be posting some of his lives, according to a source. Oh, whoa. Alright, I just lost full control of StreamYard. I can't even end the live. Okay, hold on.